Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? What up? Look at that. He was 15 minutes early. No one was expecting that. It's like 100 people waiting. Like, no one was actually expecting this. Oh, yes, I'm early. I am early. You say late in chat, by the way, bro. Like, I don't think I've ever been earlier to a stream in my life. What are we saying late for? What are we saying late for? It's like I'm early. I'm on time. And chat is still saying holy late. Negative 10 minutes late. Okay, so if I start a stream early, I'm still late. It's just negative late. You're hungover? Yeah, sorry to hear that. Why are you hungover on a Friday? Aren't you meant to be hungover on a Saturday or a Sunday? College on Thursday? Yeah, respectable. Respectable. How are we doing though, chat? Let me know. Let me know. Tell me the details. I've definitely had a week.
Inflation Cynical finally showing up to his job, turning on his PC on time. This is truly wholesome.
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. Thank you, Clap Nuggets, for the 9. I've definitely had a week. A week on this planet. But, yeah, I thought streaming would be a good idea. Get everything set up, say hi to you guys. Because streaming helps me as well as it helps you guys. Keep yourselves busy on a Friday night. But yeah, basically, plan is I was gonna do a stream today. I got ID'd in Primark for trying to buy fake nails. 18, by the way. I'm 27 and I still get ID'd for Red Bull. So I wouldn't worry about it. I tried to buy a Red Bull and this guy at the 7-Eleven, he looked at my ID and he thought I was born in 2007. So he said no. And I had to point out to him, no, that you're not looking at the date of birth. It says 97. I'm 27. You look 16. Yeah, I'm told I look a mix between 16 and 40. I think it's horrible though, because the people that look really, really young, when the wall hits them, you just look like Gollum. And because I'm white as well, like white people age the worst, genuinely. My little brother drinks Red Bull and he's 13. He should not do that. He should not do that. I think you should be at least 16 to drink caffeine, because that's why caffeine's so popular though, right? Like all the G Fuel and gamer sups and stuff.
Hey Pyro, can you play Split Fiction with me so we can discover our inner lesbian and start our Tumblr fanfiction romance?
I don't know about that idea. You might just be a lesbian. But thank you, Annam, for the 10. Like, I love caffeine. Like, I love coffee, like black coffee. I don't really like energy drinks that much. I think they just taste a bit grim. Apparently, there's some science behind it where it's like, the more disgusting an energy drink tastes, the more you think it's actually giving you energy. That's why Red Bull doesn't taste amazing. There are better tasting energy drinks, but they taste okay. But yeah, with like kids and stuff, right? That's like why they get hooked on G Fuel and gamer subs and stuff, because it's like, what can you give a child?
It is my friend Liam's birthday once more. Wish him a happy and good one, Pyro, like you did last year. Shoutouts to Liam D. Sigma. He loves your content, as do I. Shoutouts to me too, Lamau.
Shout out to Liam. Happy birthday. Everyone in chat, please give Liam a wonderful happy birthday. He's just turned 2 years old, which makes him the oldest Pyro viewer in chat right now. Red Bull is the best tasting thing. I don't like it. I don't like energy drinks. I really don't. I just drink black coffee, which is yummers. I love black coffee. I don't like sweet stuff, like pastries and stuff like that. I just think they're grim. It's like if you're getting calories from something, at least like enjoy it, right? Get like a greasy burger or something, not like a you know those Crumbl cookies? Like you could probably eat a disgusting fat greasy burger. Like I'm talking like Resident Eat hang on. I'm talking like Resident Evil 2 burger. You could probably eat one of these and it would have about half the calories of a Crumbl cookie. Hang on. What Crumbl cookie has the most calories? Wait, let me see this.
Crumbl cookie just said.
Pyro, I'm turning 20 today.
Nice one,
I've been
TikTok.
watching your channel for forever,
Crumbl cookie,
and it's brought me nothing but joy. Thank you so much. 3 PLS give Betscup 2.
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kieran, for the 3. Thank you, Jessica for the Prime. Thank you, Shizmon, for the Prime as well. When are you going full Finn, asking for a friend? I am never becoming trans, ever. I've seen people complain saying that I'm trans baiting, and it's like, I'm not trans baiting. Like, I dressed up as a woman years and years ago. That doesn't make me trans. Like, I'm dressing up as a woman for my Emilia Perez video as well, but I've said multiple times I'm not trans. Like, it's never gonna happen. If it's helped you, like, some of the viewers, like, you know, find your own identity and come out, like, that's based. But I don't know why people think I'm, like, baiting. It's like, no.
Hey Pyro, been watching you since the MLG days. Could you check out a game called Sunless Sea?
Sunless Sea?
It's like Darkwood but made by British people. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, I think Mandalore did a really good review on that, like, years ago. Vaguely remember that game. It's like a top-down one, right? Yeah, no, I think, I'm not trans baiting at all. No. Like, if it helps you come out, based. Genuinely, but no, I'm not trans. All right, let me see this Crumbl cookie.
They just set a world record for their highest calorie item yet.
Okay.
That's right, you heard me correctly. So
The
this
Jimmy
is called
Fallon.
the Jimmy
When you have
Fallon's
the time, please take a look in topic suggestion on Discord. There is a video by the Emperor of Japan. Also, chat, you all should sign up to the TBH podcast. It's only $5.
True.
It's not very much
True.
money, so get
You
it.
should sign up. You should sign up. That's a very good point. Thank you, Saturn, for the 10. Thank you, Liam, for the 1,000 bits. Trailer for FBC Firebreak. It's made by Remedy. It's a co-op FPS in the Control universe. FBC Firebreak.
I've worked at a Crumbl, and the sheer amount of butter and oil that goes into everything. It's also a Mormon company and tends to favor Mormons when franchising.
Yeah, I just think, like, the calories in a Crumbl cookie is insane. Like, it's genuinely awful how many there are. And the thing is, it's like, if you're going to have an insane amount of calories for food that you know is bad for you, like, at least enjoy it, right? At least enjoy it. Holy. Muds, ban that guy. Time out that guy that's just spamming. Actually, like, most unfunny chatter award, again, goes to this man in chat spamming the same bit over and over. Like, dude, if you're going to spam, at least send me $10 doing it. Come on. Let me see this.
brownie. It's a holiday seasoning candy cane brownie.
Of course, it's called the Jimmy Fallon as well. You know those are Jimmy Fallon Ben & Jerry's? It's like, why do you need this? The Tonight Dough. And you just got Jimmy Fallon's, like, very happy face plastered all over it. Thank you, Bleep Bloop Jupe, for the 32 months. Damn. Can I get a Mood sponsorship? What's Mood?
Of course, for the Christmas season, and one singular brownie contains
1,200 calories. That's not as many as I thought, to be fair. Oh, to be fair, 40 grams, though. That's crazy.
1,210 calories, with 121 grams of total sugars and also 101 grams of added sugars. And
Wait, what's the protein, though? What's the protein? Where's the protein? Why they're not... Wait, am I... Oh, there it is.
Grams of
13 grams! 13 grams, man. Like, okay, if it was like 100 grams of protein, I'd be like, wait a minute. They might be onto something here. They might be onto something. But 13 grams! I can eat like 3 eggs and get that much. That's grim.
Sorry for poor English. Have you get better at cooking yet? I'm concerned.
Have I got better at cooking? After the steak incident, I actually haven't tried cooking again. I might try a cooking stream at some point, though. It's just sugar? No, it's just milk and sugar, literally.
Added sugars.
Dude, I gotta stop holding this thing on stream because people keep thinking it's a vape. It's just like a screw for like my microphone.
And there's 13 grams of protein that somehow substantiates the clogged arteries that you will be getting from eating this. But like, listen to this really quick. They're saying 1,212 calories in a single brownie. 1,210 divided by 180 per serving. They're trying to tell you this has...
It's so small as well.
Over 6.5 servings.
Peppermint white drop buttercream with a drizzle of semi-sweet ganache and a crunch.
In a single brownie.
It almost makes me think they're doing this to like engagement farm, right? Like they're purposely making like stuff that people are going to talk about.
Tell me who in the right obesity rates.
Someone in TBH service suggested that Dolan's face reveal just be him and you just kissing and saying you love each other very much. Well, I confess that I dreamt exactly this and woke up with a massive nosebleed and my entire ceiling covered in my sticky semen.
Thank you, Devil Larry Crybaby, for the 10. Yeah, Dolan, I've seen Dolan. He's a very good-looking guy. If I was gay, we'd be a couple. Like he keeps hitting on me, and it's like, nah, man, I don't roll that way. Oh, the Lewis gun. Lewis gun mentioned from the finals. Very good gun here, dude. When I was playing the finals, you play as like the big class. With the Lewis gun, it was so broken.
Be playing the new FNAF game Secret of the Mimic. Have you also heard Jackie's box?
I haven't, but thank you for the 10, Annan.
Me and my butt buddy Elan have seen the filthy cesspool your callie chat. I feel disgusted. There is now an executive order that makes Janice be paid 10 times their normal amount due to their workload. Can you and chat tell me how much that is?
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. It's $7. Thank you, Adrian, for the 6. Could you say something funny? I want to prank my co-workers if that's okay. Thank you, and love your content. Also, Far Cry 3 remake would be peak. Say something funny. If it was 2016 Pyro, I would say a slur right now, but I'm not.
Hey Pyro. Have you seen the trailer for the Gaslight District from Glitch? It genuinely looks incredible and has a very interesting premise. Worth a watch emo. I also recommend checking out the Mechanical Instinct analog horror from Unknowingly. Much love.
Mechanical Instinct analog horror. Thank you, give me butter for the 10. Mechanical Instinct. What the fuck? It's on 10 years ago? Oh, these are all songs, dude. Oh, I don't know.
Hey Dolan, still cheating on my girlfriend.
Thank you, James Bondage, for the 10. Oh, is that an MP40? Dude, that gun carried in World at War. No joke. In the multiplayer, wholly overpowered. Thank you, Kelly, for the 2. I don't think Remedy have ever made a first-person shooter, right? Oh yeah, it is set in the control offices. That's cool.
We've had reports
Damn.
of rogue sticky notes replicating across this sector. If you don't cut back their numbers, this whole place will be yellow by morning.
Oh, this looks peak. I'll be honest, I'm so basic, right? Like a first-person shooter only has to be like a 6 out of 10 and I'll play it. I'm sold so much easier on first-person shooters.
Quick correction, the Mechanical Instinct analog horror is by the channel Unknowingly, the same creator who made The Man in the Suit.
Oh, thank you, Butter, for the 10. Yeah, I'll check it out at the end of the stream. Thank you, Avon Mouse, the Prime as well.
This crisis ain't over. Now get
It actually looks like an Arcane game, right? which makes me really sad.
The containment door to the
It looks like Redfall, but we know it will not be anything like Redfall.
next zone.
Well, at least I hope not, because that'd be really bad.
Safe room dead ahead.
Yeah, if they've got a Lewis gun, that's an easy buy for me.
It contains something useful, but it'll probably attract a lot of... Oh, you already opened it. Never mind. You sure kicked the nest. There's hiss all over you. Stand back! Piggy's coming out! You gotta shoot him off me!
You literally just get like... I like how in so many games it's like a goo or a substance, but in this game it's just sticky notes.
Last containment door's open. Go, go!
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a lot of variation with enemies, but it's usually how these games go, right? They'll just add more and more as time goes on. I mean, I'm not surprised they're doing a co-op game. Like, multiplayer games is where the money's at. All the season passes and stuff.
I think I heard something.
Unironically, even if this game's mid, they're probably going to make so much more money than they ever made off Alan Wake 2. And then they'll probably look around and think, why the fuck did we do first-person games? Single-player games. Yeah, that actually looks...
Time to clean house.
That actually looks cinema. It's like they promote it on PS5, but it says footage captured on PC. It's over. I kneel. Could you imagine they captured it? No, play definitely has fucking limits. You didn't even capture it on the PS5. Play definitely has limits. What else is there? I wanted to go over these few videos that I had left over from last stream because I want to get through all the React Andy, so I don't have to do that for a bit because I do want to play Far Cry 3 tomorrow. I want to play all of that because we've got the... I want to go through all the achievements because I had the idea for like a Pyro Live video where I just play through all of Far Cry 3 to get every single achievement. That's like all the collectibles and stuff, so that'll be... that'll probably be a good stream over the weekend, I imagine. That's going to take Saturday and Sunday. The worst lore in modern gaming. I know this is about Siege.
Lore and gaming go together hand in hand. There's something about having a good story or history tied to what you're playing that can make it infinitely more interesting.
Not much
good lore can elevate a game to a legendary status, whether it's given through detailed evidence that gets the player...
I like with FNAF, the gameplay is just so basic. But the lore literally just gave it the entire following it has today.
Are more immersed in the game's world, or through cryptic clues that add fuel to their imagination. If you already enjoy a game and find out it has good lore behind it, chances are you'll enjoy it even more. But bad lore can make you not want to play a game at all. With Hello...
I don't... Please show the tweets.
Neighbor being the best
Please
example.
show the tweets.
A game that's lore
show
and
the
story
tweets.
was terribly written and conveyed, forever
yes! It's so bad. It's so... You know the worst thing is as well? Everyone on Twitter, I've noticed, is getting like so sick of the tweets of like when there's something like fat and then they tag me in it. Like, I think everyone's getting sick of it now. I never signed off on anyone doing that, by the way. But like... I'm noticing that people are doing this when they see something that they want to tag me in. It's like, I believe Parasitical is going to enjoy this.
Reputation.
Oh, it's so cringe. Oh, one like in 14 hours. That's grim.
Of a once fairly anticipated game. The gameplay was bad too, though. Lore is not necessary for a game to be good. There have been dozens of titles with no lore that have been amazing. And
I share reels too every day. Is that why my reels are so cooked?
No one's going to hate a game for not including it. However, if a game does choose to
Is he not gay? Didn't he come out on Twitter? Are you on about that picture where I kissed Chad Roberts on the lips? That's like a bit me and him have. Okay, that sounds like cope. But no, literally, it is like a bit that me and him have. Like, once we meet every year. Because that's what I did when I appeared on the podcast with him in makeup for the first time.
Or in its experience.
No, I know. Everyone's going to say it's cope. Everyone's going to say it's cope.
Done right. Otherwise, you're better off not including it at all. Like a supplement, lore can serve to elevate its game. but if it's not thought out well, it can quickly pull the title down and affect people's perception of it. With shooters, lore is often conveyed through campaigns and PvE game modes. Just because your game is mostly online doesn't mean it...
The Battlefield campaign was actually so good, though. That was really, really, like, undervalued, I think.
...has to have a bad story.
Didn't have much replay value, but playing it, like, when it came out was fun.
Some of the best examples...
Can you go back on cold ones? They don't do podcasts anymore. They don't. I do want to do a video with them, though.
...of online...
Is that a vape? Yeah, it's a vape. I'm just gonna... Yeah, I give up saying it's not a vape.
...shooters that have good lore include Halo, Call of Duty, TF2, and I think Destiny.
You liked my art on Twitter and it made my day. Oh, best.
Before they like deleted the campaign, I don't know. I don't think I'm qualified to speak on that game. But what I am qualified to speak on is Rainbow Six Siege and the complete nosedive its story took many years ago. Some games have lore that's so good they are renowned for it. Rainbow Six Siege is not one of those games. If you were to ask the average Siege player what was happening in the game's story right now, they'd probably say that zombies are besieging Ba Sing Se or something. Most players are too distracted with the amazing gameplay to care about the game's current story. And I don't blame them. I love this game. I play it more than I use my phone.
I know nothing about the lore of Six Siege, like basically nothing. I know that there was some guy that was all of the operators' handler, and then he got killed off by like one of the new characters. Siege has a story. It does, and it tries to be super serious and grounded until it isn't, and then it just becomes like a comedy bit.
Is my rank? Let's just say it rhymes with...
Like there was this one where they're fighting inside like an esports arena. It was crazy.
Whopper T. Most players are too...
Also, notice how he says he plays Siege more than he uses his phone. Everyone that I know that plays Siege, they are scrolling TikTok on drone phase.
Distracted with Siege's gameplay to care about it.
I literally named myself after Devilman Crybaby in hopes you would get that reference.
No, I got the reference. I got the reference.
Don't remember if you have even watched it, but nonetheless. Maggot then.
Maggot. Thank you, Larry, for the 10. Appreciate it. I know it was a bit. I don't have to like address it and be like, oh, I understood that reference. What, you want me to be like Captain America? Like, oh, I understood that reference.
Story. But if they were to take a peek into the lore that the Rainbow writers have created, they would find out that they have been missing out on some of the most dumb and convoluted writing I have ever seen. This stuff is worse than my aim. To understand the start of Rainbow Six Siege's lore, it's helpful to know about the overall franchise's history. The first Rainbow Six...
Have you seen the picture of like... Hang on. Someone was playing CSGO and they used a magnifying glass on their screen. Literally to help their aim. I would not be surprised if people that are playing Six Siege, they do this. They stick a magnifying glass in the middle of their monitor just to give them better aim.
Its title came out in 1998 based on the novel written by Tom Clancy. Tom Clancy was an author known for his technically detailed and suspenseful military books, and the first Rainbow game was made to coincide release with its book, with Rainbow's novel and the game being released.
I talked about this last stream, but the first Rainbow game is so good. Like the PS1 game.
During the same month. So from the...
It's such a weird game, though. Like, you can't even see your gun. You're basically just like a floating crosshair.
From the start, serious and tactical themes were written into this franchise's DNA. And for a while, the game stayed that way.
It looks kind of like a game that I played as a kid that was really good. It was like a poor man's Metal Gear Solid. It was called Siphon Filter. That game was peak. It was so good.
With each sequel that came out maintaining the gritty atmosphere the original had established. Themes of secrecy, high stakes, and advanced tactics were stapled to the games. And when Rainbow Six Siege was announced, it seemed bent on maintaining that identity, with its trailer impressing fans with what looked like to be another modern and realistic take on the FPS genre. And for a while, that was what we...
Yeah, Siphon Filter was actually peak, bro. You heard the music in the game? Yeah. Like, music like this should not go this hard for, like, 1996. It's not copyright. It's not copyright. Yeah, it was peak. It was peak.
However, it didn't stay that.
Wait, my Oh, for fuck's sake. I think my taskbar just fucked up. Hang on. My taskbar's frozen. It's over.
That way. When I first loaded up...
Okay, that's weird. I can't use the bottom right of my monitor, but whatever.
Rainbow onto my Xbox, I was already hyped. I had heard about the game's serious...
Oh my god, you're not calling it break core in chat. You're not. Oh my holy new gen. Goodness gracious. Break core.
Siege lore died when they got rid of the white masks and turned it into an Olympics-style training shitpost.
Yeah, they tried to make it more kind of like comedic and stuff, because it's like, ooh, that gets more attention.
Reputation. I knew that the character...
What's break core? It's basically anything where you see that troll face.
all wore subtle and practical uniforms. The energy of the game, both online and off...
Like, I get it. The game did need to evolve from just like gritty, ooh, everyone wears the same black tactical armor.
...was said to be nerve-wracking. And the opening cinematic...
But at the same time, it just went... They almost tried to do a Saints Row kind of thing, right? Like, Saints Row couldn't compete with GTA, so they had to basically make it more kind of funny and stylized. But, like, Siege wasn't really competing with anyone. They didn't have to do it.
Confirmed by assumptions with a grave message. Aurelia Arnott, a United States official, was addressing the game's threat. A group by the name of the White Masks had started to release dangerous gas in public places. According to Aurelia, this group could show up anywhere.
I remember playing the Siege training missions, and you can do this mission in co-op, and I could never find a game with anyone to do this mission. So I've never played this mission before.
In the world, and were indiscriminate about who they targeted. And Rainbow, an international counter-scarerist group, would now be reactivated to stop them. This was the story that Rainbow debuted with on launch. The White Masks were Siege's first antagonist. They were a very realistic and terrifying threat, and the mysterious lore surrounding them fit the franchise's brand perfectly. A faceless group that was using modern tactics to cause as much fear and destruction as possible, with Aurelia stating that the group was both physically and psychologically dangerous.
Yeah, okay, okay.
They didn't have any flair or standout characteristics, besides being serious about effectively carrying out their missions. And this was an amazing...
I'm amazed everyone's making the Pyro commission joke and no one's pointing out that it looks like Nova 6.
...choice because it worked perfectly with the gameplay. You see, when Siege first launched, it debuted with several PvE missions called situations. While these were removed presumably to cut server costs, they were once a big deal for a lot of players, mostly due to how much of a thrill it was to play against the lore-accurate White Masks. On the player side, Siege's gameplay was already much more measured than other shooters. You had to plan where you would deploy and...
I remember Crobcat did a video breaking this down, talking about how, like, Siege back then looks so much better than the Siege that we got. But I think what that video... Like, it's a really good video, but I think it misses the point that, like, what Ubisoft have always been renowned for are these, like, rehearsed... You know how, like, trailers do, like, you know, not actual gameplay? They don't do that. They go next level. They do gameplay so they can say it's gameplay, but it's all rehearsed. It's all scripted. Like, you'll never get games like that, ever. It's literally meant to be, like, imagine that whoever's perspective it is, they're the cameraman, and they're filming a very rehearsed, choreographed, like, set kind of thing.
Were encouraged to move at a calculated...
And they always have, like, they always have, like, the most cringiest, like, voiceovers and stuff. They did it for that game, that third-person game in New York, where there's a virus and you go into the dark zone for PvP.
Pace. Combine this with any sort of enemy and you would have a game feel that is already intense.
It's like how Ubisoft do bull shots. You guys know what that is? It's like where you get an image in game and then you Photoshop it to the point that it doesn't even look real. Like that one there. Like that's not in the game. It looks like it's in the game, but it's not. It's been so, like, changed. And here's another one as well. This Far Cry one. Like, that does not happen in the game. You've got a reload animation. You've upscaled the balls out of it. You've photoshopped in this badger chasing Herc. Like, and the worst thing is they can say it's real because they obviously did get a screenshot of this in game, but they've added in so much, like, Photoshop that it's just not even a real image anymore. But they can say it's in the game because it's like a loophole thing.
But the amazing part was that the mysterious and intimidating lore surrounding Rainbow's enemies was reflected in their behavior. The White Masks acted just as ruthless as they had been hyped up.
Oh my god, the suicide bombers were actually so funny in that game, genuinely.
Up to be, using all sorts of heartless tactics to stop you. They would throw stun grenades, gather up in groups to more effectively hunt you down, charge you with human creepers, or just stay stationary waiting.
We got Ark using AI. I watched that yesterday. It looked terrible. It's not even like they went over... Like, that bullshot there with Ubisoft, at least they got an actual image and then went over it and fine-tuned it. Like, Ark just had it all in AI. They probably cooked that up in like 2 hours, no joke.
For you to turn around the corner.
They were like, wait, we did all this in 2 hours? This is great. We should do this for everything.
You could hear them communicating and breathing heavily the moment before they snuck up on you. And of course, their most evil tactic would be to use human bait as well as their other signature threats. This was a great experience because the lore and gameplay were intertwined perfectly, just as they always should be. It was extremely scary to face the White Masks, and oftentimes the only way to outsmart them was through communicating with your teammates and using clever tactics. On the multiplayer side, you could assume that
yeah, I think the bull shots are like kind of it's like a loophole thing, because you know when like a game says at the bottom not actual gameplay, it's like how when you see like a gambling website and it says gamble aware, it's like they have to do that as a legality thing. And I feel like with the bull shots, they don't have to do that, so that's why they do it so much.
Every game you went into was practice against them. That
in-game engine footage. Oh, it's such a cope, right? Yeah, I love when they do that, like in-game engine footage. Like you know, it's just like when they say that, they basically mean that they've captured it all within the engine, but it's not possible to run it on any hardware.
You better release the fat try to body while I'm going to go into another meltdown on Twitter. Swear on Yeezy.
Kanye's been having a lot of meltdowns recently.
The Fat Cry 2 situation is crazy. JK, love your content, Pyro. Keep it up.
Thank you, Nikita, for the 10. Yeah, I do want to do Fat Cry 2 at some point.
Siege peaked when Operation Chimera dropped, also. Also, the idea that they had to evolve with cosmetics is shit. Suits will always make devs put corny BS in FPS games, when in reality most people want the nameless soldier.
Thank you, Cohen, for the 10. Yeah, let me side quest a second, because I saw a lot of people that were saying I saw someone on Reddit like saying how I posted on my community tab I was going to do the Fat Cry 2 video like 5 years ago. I think what happened is I ran into a problem where I got so absorbed with the second channel, the slop channel, that I basically neglected the main channel. That's kind of why I've stopped doing that now. We're still going to upload slop, but I think we're going to keep it to like once a week. And I've said that last stream, you know, higher quality stuff. But that gives me more time to actually sit down and be like, okay, now I'm actually going to stream and record a game and commit to it. I mean, I recorded Psycho Pump the other day. We're working on that at the minute as well. But yeah, I think I came to a bit of a decision of like, I need to stop focusing on the slop channel so much, because it's obviously just, you know, it's slowing down the output on the main channel.
Was the basic lore.
I mean, one thing that's great is... One thing that's great, actually. I shown this before, right? The merch that we've got for the next video. I don't think... Hang on. I don't know what the fuck is... There's something really wrong with my monitor at the minute. Like, it's like a third of it is just not responding. Hang on. What can I kill to, like, fix that? Like, half my monitor just isn't responding. It's really weird. Okay, whatever. Give me a sec. Hang on. I'm trying to find it. Oh, I found it. I found it. So yeah, I'm really happy with this merch. I think they did like a really, really good job. So you got
Oi mate, why can't you turn around?
Thank you, Oi mate, for the 10. So we got 2 designs here that should be available at the end of the month as well. So we got this one here on the left. It's a front and a back design. And then you've got this one here, which is also a front and back design. And then we're also going to sell them as posters as well, which will be really, really cool. I'm excited for that. But yeah, we got full permission from the creators and stuff as well, which is great. Is that the thing? Yeah, so when I did the Server Blight video, I found like massive crossovers with the thing. So I wanted to like kind of combine that into merch, basically.
Keeping everything tied together and immersive. And
yeah, no, it's meant to be like reminiscent of the thing. That's the entire point.
You could argue that being immersed in such a high-stakes scenario caused players to be more enthusiastic about engaging with the game the way it was intended. What I mean by that is more strategic and...
Did you pay the OG creator, what, Valve?
And communicative gameplay.
I got permission from the creators. I said to them like, hey, I can't really get any sponsors at the minute. Am I good to like do merch? And he was like, yeah, totally fine. Well, they were fine because it's two guys.
And less running into the site like they're the main character. We see a lot of that today in Copper.
Because how long the videos take to make and like how much the editors are paid, like ad rev isn't enough. It genuinely just isn't enough. And if I want to like slow down on the slop channel, I need to basically get a sponsor. And we couldn't get one. So... yeah, I think merch is the other route. Our flex for the Prime.
Where I may or may not live. Because the game respected itself, the community was at least encouraged to respect it too. But as the story started to conclude, the White Masks eventually got tired of being dunked on by Rainbow and planned one final attack. Titled Article 5, it was the last scenario of the PvE category, and the developers had made quite an impressive finale. The entire map was contaminated with gas, and as a player, your HUD represented a hazmat suit. It was a truly unique scenario. This would be the last hurrah for Rainbow's initial PvE experience, both gameplay and lore-wise.
Am I tripping, or like, couldn't that hazmat get like shattered? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Black Ops campaign with the Nova 6, actually.
As the game would quickly take a much different direction. But not knowing this, many players were excited to see what kind of scenarios like this would come next.
Saying Pyro Room in chat is crazy, by the way.
Unfortunately, we'd never get something like this campaign again. It's difficult to explain what exactly happened to the lore's direction after this. At first, the game's writers seemed to be taking a well-earned break. With the lore put on pause...
Video. Just tip $10 to get your attention. Who's Joker now? JK, love your content, hope you're doing well.
Thank you for the 10, Ray. Much appreciated.
As developers focused on adding more operators. Several major updates were added to the...
Pyro. We knew you could give birth.
What's the pregnant bit? What is the pregnant bit? This happened last stream. What is this bit?
Game building on its map and gameplay pool, specifically 8 of which were added before the game's lore was expanded.
I don't know what's worse, this game's lore or Call of Duty's. Call of Duty's kind of sucks because they kill off characters in the campaign and they're like, wait, nope. Bring them back. We need them in Warzone.
Outside of just introducing new characters. The 9th major update, Operation Chimera, would be the first to change things up, bringing with it the fan-favorite Outbreak event that brought new PvE gameplay. This provided additional lore to the game, albeit against a much less realistic threat. First of all, none of Outbreak is considered canon to the main game. It actually takes place in an alternate timeline, and none of it builds on the real world's lore. Second, going from a serious, the Batman Riddler type threat, to mutated alien zombies is quite the jump. Nothing like this had ever been done in the Rainbow franchise.
Thank you, Hawk, for the $5.
Franchises, games, or novels, and it was quite the experimental decision. But despite it being less traditional...
I like this. This reminded me of that extraction mode in COD Ghosts. That was really good. I like that a lot.
I can say that this was a solid addition to Siege, both gameplay and lore-wise. The story was handled quite well, as it brought back Aurelia into the story, with Ash having to call her up to once again authorize Rainbow, as they were not allowed to enter
Extinction, that's right.
Enter the scene without clearance.
What, you guys didn't like Extinction?
Keeping things
What's the worst zombies horde mode in COD? Wasn't it Exo Zombies? Wasn't that the worst one?
Surprisingly in line with...
There was one that was just horrendous and everyone hated. Maybe it was World War II. Thank you, Baconator, for the 30.
The game's inspiration. As Tom Clancy once described it, the core idea of his books were operators who were highly skilled, disciplined, honest.
Vanguard zombies? Ah, true.
Thoroughly professional,
grim.
and only lost their cool when incompetent politicians or bureaucrats got in their way. And
Congrats on the baby. I'm not having a kid.
Approach a new threat very much maintains Clancy and the Rainbow franchise's original vision. From a gameplay perspective, it was also popular enough to get a spin-off game developed, releasing much later in the future. However, no matter how you feel about the Outbreak event, it was only a limited time event, and wasn't meant to stay around for long anyways. However, once it was over, things dramatically and horribly changed for the worst. Because from here on out, the lore is about to go from consistent to having a complete identity crisis. It is said that around 2020, the White Masks were defeated once and for all. Although a few of them were said to still be scattered across the world, their organization in the lore was considered dissolved. And with their story over, this is where the lore would go into a renaissance. A bad renaissance. It was said that having neutralized the White Masks, Aurelia moved on to be promoted to Secretary of State. And with this came a huge transfer of leadership as she handed over Rainbow to her colleague Harry. Now, if there's any way I can describe Harry, it's that he represented the new direction of Siege. And by that I mean, he was responsible for everything that went horribly wrong. The first thing he did was completely turn the program on its head by creating a concept for a massive sports arena, a location where the program would now mostly take place. Inside of this arena, the operators were now treated like celebrities.
Oh no, this sucked. I actually remember this. I was like, what the hell are they doing? This is like Fortnite, man.
As the arena had been filled with thousands of fans.
Yeah, so you stopped a terrorist threat. Can you guys just run around on a field for a couple hours? Cheers.
This was...
Thank you, Hort, for the 3. Here's more money for the baby. Thank you. Thank you, Jeb, for joining.
It's not just an arena for training, but was apparently also meant to entertain the masses, which is an interesting combination for such a confidential society to have. The operators were tasked with living in and fighting against each other in the arena, where they used BB guns and sim suits to play for...
The cinematic was really well done. No, it was. The cinematic was amazing. But it's just like, why?
Points on a scoreboard, with a commentator included.
Like, this animation definitely cost millions of dollars.
To hype up the fans.
Operators, this is match point. Only one defender remaining. 3 attackers remaining.
This is Rocket League!
They were also interviewed and had talking heads like The Office, and the shift in tone had taken a complete 180.
Gustave Kateb, GIGN, National Gendarmerie Intervention Group.
G'day.
Do I look at you or the camera?
Mike Baker, Special Air Service.
Seamus Calden, Sanitation.
Why is this like Parks and Recreation, man? What is going on?
So why would Rainbow, a covert organization that uses...
Also, I remember playing Cav, and then they added Knock. Like, Knock was my favorite operator of all time. And then they nerfed her into oblivion, by the way, by removing the silent step. So when she cloaks now, she still makes noise. Absolutely unplayable, bro.
Cutting-edge technology and secret national techniques do this. Why would they go from focusing on a realistic threat to playing Airsoft Olympics? There is not a good explanation.
Nah, she was really good, though. Like, the character design was really cool, and then she had the little MP7 or MP9, and then she had a deagle as a sidearm. Like, her loadout was just perfect. And then she had the auto shotgun as well. That was absolute trash. Like, I don't know why she was given that.
It was bad writing done to cash in on esports. Here is the reasoning for the dramatic shift according to the lore. Harry had moved Rainbow to this stadium, 1, so that Rainbow could train for a wider range of real-world scenarios, you know, by making them train in a paintball stadium, and 2,
they nearly removed explosives from an explosive type operator. I remember seeing this chart in like comp games. Everyone picked, who is it? The trans woman, the one that can like, she projects her own like hologram that's used to bait people. I forget her name, but yeah, like she had a grenade, and solely because of that grenade, she was the most picked character, or had like the best KD across all the statistics.
Unite them.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Them as a team by also having them live together in it, and basically always work together in teams. This story direction doesn't work, and his plan fails horribly on both of these goals, and he dies. But that's not really Harry's fault as much as it is the writers. Think of Harry as like a scapegoat for the direction that Ubisoft wanted to move Rainbow towards. He's basically like a self-insert for the writers trying to put themselves inside the story so they can directly change what Siege is about. So what...
Oh my god, this on Gez League thing is so unfunny. Stop spamming it.
Are the real developers' reasons for doing this? According to narrative director Alex Lima, the decision to phase out Siege's counter-scarist narrative was so that they could pursue a more comprehensive and scalable story. Apparently, making the game's lore revolve around Call of Duty Olympics achieves this. When it comes to making the story more comprehensive, I don't know about you, but soldiers fighting against real-world threats is a lot easier to grasp than soldiers competing in stadiums for points with...
I hope this character dies. Like, I got compared to her so much, even though it just looked nothing alike. And also that goddamn shield she can deploy, man. Like, anytime she peeks you, you're dead. Even if you're already peeking her.
Live spectators. The whole thing feels impractical, and like the writers don't know which world this story takes place in. Why are there people watching this? Aren't all these operations using highly confidential technology? Don't they have identities to protect? Isn't this a bit of a risk? Alright everybody, I'm glad all of our best agents and 50,000 people could be here. This is gonna be a fun one. I packed some extra orange slices. Okay. The lore might be a little bit out there, but at least it accomplished its goal of being scalable. Rainbow is clearly just laying down the foundation for a story that will be built on for the rest of the game's lifespan. They wouldn't just go out with such a dramatic system if it wasn't scalable like
It's just so obvious they wanted to give them bigger
You mentioned The Division. The Dark Zone was so fun. The extraction mode was actually done so well. There's a video about it. Really made me remember the atmosphere and vibe of the game was so good. It was just tainted with Ubisoft slop.
Thank you, Cohen, for the 15. Yeah, I've heard loads of people say The Division sucks, but they always would agree the Dark Zone is really good.
Wanted it to be. As it turns out, it was not scalable, because just recently the writers killed off its mascot. So no more Wipeout, everybody.
It's just so obvious with this game, though. They wanted to try and be more mainstream and be like, let's break out the gritty. Because every other game that's successful has, like, big, standout, larger-than-life characters.
Buddy, sorry. How did this happen? How did we lose the Steve Jobs of gaming? Well, I'm happy to say it's a hilariously convoluted series of events. I'm talking Marvel's Civil War levels of buildup, because the guy who did this is exactly like...
Thank you, Justin, for the 2 community gifted. Appreciate it, man.
Like Baron Zemo. After starting their new program, Harry decided to hire Nighthaven, a similar organization to Rainbow, except for the fact that it uses more ruthless and risky tactics. Nighthaven and Rainbow actually have a...
Yeah, I noticed they cut down the budget as well, right? They went from like the huge Blur Studio 3D animations to like more traditional 2D.
A lot of inherent conflicting worldviews.
They still look really good though.
They do not like each other, and they do not do things the same. It's basically a ripoff of Talon from Overwatch. During their first tournament, because Rainbow does annual tournaments now, Ash, the leader of Rainbow, and Callie, the leader of Nighthaven, get put on the same team by Harry, because he knows that they don't like each other, so this should help.
Also, one thing that really annoys me is Sam Fisher in 6 Siege. He's not voiced by Michael Ironside that voiced Sam Fisher in the actual Splinter Cell games. I did read online that he was like really ill and he had cancer for a while, but yeah, I really wish he was able to voice in that.
You look 5 months pregnant. Can you stand up to show the progress? And will you be streaming the delivery?
Thank you, Meowster Pyro, for the 10. Yeah, as you can see, I'm actually the baby's coming along quite well. The baby's actually coming along quite well. You can definitely see here. You know, progress is looking good. I'm just committing to the bit, bro. It's over.
Great idea, Harry. I hope this doesn't cause a butterfly effect that ironically leads to your own end. During a particularly critical round, Callie decides to use Ash and Dokkaebi as bait to secure the W. She also skids a shot
E-boy pants while you're sat here watching the stream in your boxers. Shut up.
Through Ash's face, which is kind of concerning because why isn't Ash wearing a helmet if the supposed BB bullets can do this? What if someone accidentally hits a headshot on her? That seems like an incredible health and safety risk. After that kerfuffle, Ash is upset because of what Callie did, and she's...
Why are we so formal? We're streaming. Bro tries to dress up nice one time.
Brooding about it in the bathroom when she hears Callie lecturing the other operators about how in this line of work, you can't be worried about safety. And sometimes, you gotta bend the rules to secure the win. And Ash gets so mad that she storms into the other room and starts telling Callie off. She tells her that she doesn't know how they do it in Nighthaven, but here at Rainbow, you can't use people as bait. Callie tells her that it's just a game, which it is, and Ash punches her. The room then proceeded to break out into chaos, as the operators split up into two sides of the room.
Oh my god, they're doing like Avengers, man. They're doing like a Civil War bit here.
Literally picking sides. And by the next cinematic, Nighthaven decides to leave Rainbow, an incredibly short run. It's almost like they were only here so the Rainbow writers could use them to cook up conflict. So as you can see, the game's writers are really going heavy on the internal beef angle. They're basically just...
What if all the good guys had le fight between let each other, but then they all le make up at let end?
Stirring up drama out of nowhere. Even Ella and Zofia, who for a long time coexisted as sisters, started to get more hostile.
I don't know anyone that played this woman, to Ella. I don't know anyone that played her, except people that were gooners, because she had latex pants on. That was the only reason that people picked her, genuinely.
Towards each other, with the arena being fuel for their rivalry. They basically get retconned into always having hated each other, and Ella leaves Zofia behind to join Nighthaven along with a bunch of other operators. Then Callie lectures Ella about how she made the right choice. Great job, Harry. This arena has really done its job of bringing
She was the best operator on release. Cope. Absolute cope. You're just a gooner. Absolute cope.
Buddy together.
You saw the latex pants and you were like...
You have really done some good team building. A true peacemaker. This sort of Civil War narrative has actually been done in quite a few other games before. Overwatch has always had a lot of this in its lore with the heroes not getting along. Apex Legends had some beef, and I think Valorant too, maybe. You can tell that they also moved the operators into the stadium so that they could have a good environment for these arguments.
I'm dumb and one.
Because if they were still mostly focused on actually stopping criminals, there wouldn't be any time for these petty differences.
She has a smaller hitbox. Absolute he's smoking an actual copium pipe right now.
But now, because they're inside a safe environment, everyone can have fights without compromising any missions, which makes the Olympics direct.
I mean, I played Cav for a little bit. Like, she was based. Like, the silent step, if you camp in the corner with the pistol, then you down someone that gets a little bit greedy and they're trying to, like, solo on their own. Interrogate. Snitched. I swear, man, Nock was the best character in the entire game. Genuinely. Until they nerfed her. I will never forgive that Nock nerf. They nerfed her into absolute oblivion. I'll see if I can pull it up now. Right here on Reddit. On Reddit, they're crying about it. Remove silent step. The whole point of her character is to be stealthy. And then they remove the stealth aspect. I rarely see Nock played. Yeah, like, I've never had competition with someone in a public game that picked Nock before me. Never.
Even more ridiculous.
Because no one wants to play her. Like, she sucks now.
But things get much worse. The introduction for Azami, a new operator, follows these events. And
someone in chat said, Reddit crying? No way.
In her animated short, we get the lore that her boss, and I guess dear friend, was murked in front of her eyes. And she visits her friend Habana, who is still on Rainbow's side by this point, to show her that the bullets used were labeled Nighthaven property. So rather than jump to conclusions, the Rainbow folks track down the mercenaries who killed Azami's boss to see if they can figure out who ordered them. But it turns out the mercenaries were bait, and a helicopter starts shooting at all the Rainbow operators. And they're all like, oh man.
I feel like I'm watching the end of Evangelion here. It's like they started off with 3D animations and they go to 2D and now it's just a comic. It'll be like concept art next.
Sure this is the work of Nighthaven. We haven't gotten any more evidence since that bullet, but if this is Nighthaven, we're mad. So
are you multi-streaming? Yeah.
Might as well be Nighthaven. And so they decide to fully jump to conclusions by deciding to infiltrate Nighthaven's HQ. But when Nock does a sloppy job escaping, Nighthaven finds out she was poking around their base and tracks her down. Nock was tracked down. The invisible stealth operator, the one whose only ability in Siege is being invisible on cameras, was caught on camera. And then
woman who doesn't have her name or date of birth anywhere on system, by the way.
I have been watching you since 2014 and I do have a lot of respect for you when you came out as a fat fur. I've been self-conscious about my sexual interests, but honestly thanks to you I came out to my parents as a nonce and changed.
Okay, that one was funny. That was funny. Oh, Thank you for the 10. The farts of 87. Oh. I actually got trolled. I thought that was like a genuine dono as well. Like someone being like actually serious and opening up. I've had that before at meet and greets and stuff. Like people came up to me and been like, oh, like I thought I was a freak. And then I realized you're a freak as well. So it's kind of okay.
And tracked down by bees. And so Grim from Nighthaven pays a visit to her and threatens her. And that's actually all the retaliation that happens. Like you thought this would launch a big conflict, but no, he just tells her like, don't do it again or I'll come for you. And that's it. Rainbow just decides that it probably wasn't Nighthaven after all. Then Rainbow decides to go to Nighthaven again, but this time just to tell them to stay.
Oh, my second wife. What's her name? Solace? Oh no, she's based actually. No, she's my favorite defender. They did nerf her a bit as well. Well, they keep nerfing all the characters that I main, but like she could do this thing where she can see all the tech that people are using, like wiping out drones in drone phase. Anyone coming in would like oh, that's why Nock became so bad, because Solace can just see her like straight away. Like she's awful.
Out of their business and give Solace a cool moment to shine. And then they realize both of their gear has been stolen this entire time because someone else has apparently been messing with both teams. So all of their conflict
Paramains any woman with a mask, Lamau.
Was pointless.
Okay, it's just coincidence.
Congratulations on the announcement of pregnancy, Mr. Pyro Cynical.
Where is it?
As a gift, we are preparing to send you a copy of Monster Hunter Wilds with the spring title update included. We hope you will enjoy during this incredible point in your life.
Thank you, Capcom, for the $15. I'm 4 months into the pregnancy at the minute.
This is horrible, but literally none of it matters.
Hibana, best operator. Holy Guna.
Because it turns out it was all a guy named Deimos. He had orchestrated everything.
Dude, I'll be honest, Deimos' character sucks. His ability is terrible. It's like, oh, bro, you want to 1v1 me? In a 5v5 game? No, I'm good.
All along.
Okay.
This guy then visits Harry, tries and fails to take out Rainbow operatives in front of him, and then tells Harry that old Rainbow was better and shoots him. Deimos is basically the Siege's community personified.
You know, Rainbow used to be feared in my time. A covert unit of apex killers, and you turned it into the ice capades.
Everybody then tracks
He's shown all the people dying and all the people being shot, but I'm very happy he censored out that F word there.
Deimos down and captures him. So that is the lore with a lot of filler cut out, because as you can see, there's already just so much nonsense in it. They were clearly just making pointless storylines to draw out the lore, so they wouldn't have.
No way Pyro loves Solace, but hates Deimos. I mean, no, Deimos sucks, sorry. Solace, better operator. She's got the P90 and a fat ass. Like you just can't argue with it.
To worry about actually doing anything that had a big impact.
You can't argue with it.
But the worst part is how the lore is not compatible with the game itself. First of all, if Nighthaven and Rainbow never really got along, how come they trained together in-game? You could explain this by saying that the game takes place at a time when the two forces were briefly in harmony, before or after their conflict. But that doesn't explain Deimos being a playable character. We haven't got a lot of information about Deimos' plan. All that we know is that he thinks Rainbow is too soft and wants to kill all the operators. But now he plays alongside them in their games, whether it's in the Wipeout Stadium or anywhere else. He trains with his worst enemies. In his introduction video, the devs were like, yes, Deimos hates Rainbow.
What type of plant is that behind you? It's a tree.
But he's not really a part of the team, guys. He's just agreeing to practice with them forever. Mocks Rainbow for being basically Airsoft. Becomes part of the Airsoft team. Oh, the irony. As you can see, the developer's decision to change Siege's narrative led to more problems than it solved.
I'm guessing if I go on the... Hang on. Because Reddit always just becomes a hive mind of complaining. I want to see if there's like any positivity on the subreddit. Just spotted this in the window. I mean, that's based. It was hired by Ubisoft to make the gadgets. Oh, okay, it's not complaining. It's not complaining. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! 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 We just allowed that in the game? What? Oh, mein Gott und Himmel! Why? What? Why have you got that in the game? That's in the game? Nah, that's fake. That's fake. That has to be fake. They put the Kanye gun.
Hey Pyro, Was watching Markiplier's 6 million thank you special and saw the comment you left on the video 10 years ago. Reminded me that we were all kids once and have come a long way. Anyways, can't wait for the 10-hour Fear and Hunger vid in 2026.
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. Was I queuing and it crap? You got to gold? Dude, I don't think I got out of toilet. I think the highest rank I ever got was like silver 3. On PC, it's just too sweaty. It's too sweaty on PC. Can't do it. Can't do it. It's just pixel peekers. The reputation system is mostly effective. People don't like taking responsibility for their actions. Holy Redditor. Oh, my Reddit. I can never get exemplary. I always get like the second best rank. Like I never team kill or anything. Wait, luckiest headshot. Okay, 0, 0. 0's good. Nice quality, by the way. Okay, let's see this. Common pre-fire. He's just gonna aim. Yep. Very, yep. Very common pre-fire, unfortunately. You were just in a bad position. Very, very common pre-fire there. You really should have seen that coming. Oh, nice jump scare. One thing I want to ask chat, any sieges in here, what's the hype around black eyes? Why do people like soy face over black eye skins? I don't get it. I've got so many black eye skins and it's just like, okay, it's not even a legendary. Siege timing? Oh no, siege timing is the worst. You will cover an angle for like 90 seconds. The second you look away, they push. He's gonna look away and get shot. This is me every game. Yeah. And there we have it. I mean, you would have missed anyway. Let's be real, mate. Let's be real. It's like a blue gem.
Solved. The lore was poorly strategized as it led to the developers having trouble explaining why it doesn't line up with gameplay, and the pacing itself was also super disjointed.
Stop hitting the weed pen. I like how it's evolved from a vape to a weed pen now.
And it feels like it took years for anything to happen. The stadium basically acted as an...
Okay, dude, the one on the far right, dude, they just look like ghosts from Modern Warfare, literally.
Environment for the...
I have seen a scary amount of women on TikTok that are just simping for Ghost. Like, it is absolutely insane.
These silly stories to play out, and then couldn't be scaled anymore and was scrapped. Had Rainbow continued in its original direction, not only would it have been more coherent, but the stakes would be higher and fans would be more engaged. There are plenty of directions you could go with real-world...
Oh yeah, it looks like Hicks from Death Stranding as well. Oh yeah, that bottom one with the gold as well, what the hell?
...antagonists that would have actually lifted gameplay up too. A new group of scarers that target tech could make levels where you can't use anything electric. And more levels like Article 5 would challenge players in new and interesting ways. The writers could also have those same dramatic emotions they wanted to stir up with Nighthaven, but in a much more engaging way to audiences. Just make it so Ash is brooding because the new opposition is causing her to doubt Rainbow's capabilities. Something like that would not only be more interesting, but it would also tie in with the game, raising the stakes around the organization instead of making it a recreational Nerf club. Lore and story are a critical part of a community's engagement with a game, and fans had been begging to return to Siege's more serious narrative ever since it was abandoned. The problem...
It's actually crazy how, like, when Far Cry 5 came out, everyone thought it was really mid, but now everyone's done a complete 180 saying it's one of the better games. It's not Far Cry 3 good, but they're saying it's like... Oh, that's right, because after 3 was peak, 2 was the best one, but it had more that didn't work. 3 was the best one overall because it was streamlined, but it was missing some features from 2. 4 was like kind of... Okay, this is basically DLC. 5 was like, ooh, actually like... more engaging story. God, do you remember RJ from Far Cry 4? No one remembers RJ from Far Cry 4, by the way. It was a trick question. The guy spoke, but he basically had less character than the deputy, who was purposely a mute in 5.
Going back to a more serious threat would mean that Ubisoft would have to spend resources on making more single-player gameplay. We don't want to do that, dude. That would take money.
What about Primal? Oh, I played Primal when I was a kid because that came out like over 10 years ago. That was okay. That was okay. Primal was okay. I kept thinking there'd be a secret gun you could pick up and I just never found it. And I was like, oh, this sucks.
We're more interested in appealing to...
my family, my brothers, my sisters, they've been taken from me by a snake! in the garden. I like the bit where he's doing the monologue and he's like, I thought I knew God's plan.
Esports. And cutting costs by removing all traces of PvE
Holy
gameplay
Lalo Salamanca.
while we're at it. Although
wait, Lalo Salamanca's in Siege?
Ask any esports player what they think of Stadium, and they'll probably tell you it's their least favorite map. It's not even in the ranked
When's the new main channel video? End of the month.
Map pool. I really don't have any high expectations for this game's story.
Yeah, that's...
This Pyro. My username is US Marine. I'm either going to be an actual US serviceman deserving of your respect, or I'm going to be some crackhead donating the most rancid shit. Call it.
I think you're going to be a US Marine. Enjoy boarding the plane first in America.
Story, because clearly the narrative department
the Stadium map is absolute dog water, by the way. Like, I've never known a worse map in Siege, genuinely.
of Siege has no idea what they're doing. Of course, in a game like Rainbow, lore is not the final say in a game's
Joseph Sneed? I've never known anyone to actually call him his actual surname. It's either Joseph Sneed or Joseph Snot.
Success at all. This game is doing very well, and it clearly didn't need its half-baked world building to do so. But judging it strictly from a writing perspective, this game's lore and overall story is a failure. It's not well written or interesting.
I think they can bring it back, but at the same time, it's just been so, like, it's been so Fortnite-ified now. It's not a word, I just made up that word. You know anything about the death of Monolith? The death of Monolith makes me very, very sad. Unironically, it is one of the most depressing things I've ever known, because I basically wanted to do videos on all the Monolith games, the early ones, well, the mid ones, like, timeline ones. Like, I wanted to do a Fear video. I already did a video on Condemned. I honestly, in my teenage years, I grew up playing Monolith games. I played Condemned so much. I remember it was like my 13th birthday or something. And then my dad said to me, like, you know, make a wish. What do you want for your birthday? And then I wished for, like, Condemned 2 Condemned 2 Bloodshot. And he was like, no, you're not getting that. And I was like, okay. All right. Fair enough. Yeah, I never played normal games as a kid. I always played, like, the really messed up horror games. I mean, I ended up being completely normal, so, you know, it wasn't really too much of an issue. But yeah, like, I really liked the Fear series. That was really good. Fear, Condemned, and then they got absorbed into Warner Brothers a little bit. Well, that was during Condemned 2. And then they got put onto the Lord of the Rings games, which I never played, but apparently are really good. And then after that, they got shut down, which absolutely sucks. Someone said internet normal. Yeah, I'll take that. Steam is on a warpath. Uh-oh.
There has very much been a cultural revolution within the video game industry between the players and the publishers and the media, and a lot of it has been...
What did you think of Fear 2? Also, did you ever hear of the Resistance series that was exclusive to PlayStation?
Thank you for the 10. I'm gonna touch you. Wait, what was the dono? What do you think of Fear 2? Fear 2 got so much hate when it came out. They were like, bro, you turned it into a console shooter now. It sucks. I still think it's good. And then you played as Beckett in Fear 2, and that was really good. And even though he was a mute, I feel like he had a fair amount of personality. And then in Fear 3, they gave him a voice, and you see him for a 5-minute cutscene, and then he dies, which was fucking shit, by the way. Like, that was awful. Fear 3 was trash, man. Like, it's fun to play, but, like, goddamn, did they butcher that story.
And platformed off of Steam. Not actively, so to say, more passively than anything else, because it's one of the only places, it's one of the only platforms where the customer still has a voice, and that voice can be heard. We just don't see that in a lot of other places. And I don't think a lot of people have picked up on this, but not only has Steam been getting...
I like Steam at the minute, because any bad game that I play, I refund it, and I instantly get the money back. As soon as that stops happening, I'm going to become a Steam hater.
...more popular, they've been on a warpath. They've been setting up rules and regulations.
This guy sucks. Why does he suck? What's the issue?
For all of these other publishers to follow, and if they don't fall in line, well, then they're not going to be on Steam, and these guys want to be on Steam. And I realize that a lot of people are going to...
My name is Homer. Marge, I want a donut. Homer, that is my name. Homer, I want another. Homer, where is my beer? I'm running out to Moe's bar. There's Sideshow Bob, and he's about to kill Bart. Go. My name is the fucking Slanders, oh yeah.
Thank you, Millhouse is dead for the 10.
Back and say that's a lot of power for one company to have. And you're absolutely right in that. But from my perspective, they've also become our de facto legislators in an industry that is wildly underregulated. They are putting consumer protections in place in an industry where those consumer protections don't exist. And why are they doing it? Well, it's because they value their audience. We've had plenty of conversations.
It's actually crazy how Steam has no competition, right? Like, what's their biggest competition, bro? Epic Games? I laugh. GOG? I laugh. Like there's actually no competition.
It's about...
I think Valve as well has like one of the I'm not going to say it's the company, but it's got to be in like the top 5 of companies that they have the fewest amount of employees that are paid the most per person.
An industry.
Because they just hire like the best of the best. It's like basically impossible to get a job with Steam.
At war with its own audience. Well, this is the last bastion of that industry where...
Thank you, the 5, Rowan. Love your work. How do you go about getting into older games? I know Stalker and Bioshock. I just look around. I don't know. I don't really enjoy like newer games that much, to be fair. So I like to... I feel like me playing older games, it's almost like a little bit of like childhood nostalgia as well. It's like, oh, I loved this game when I was 12. How does it like way up now?
They still care about us. So from hitting 40 million concurrent players on Steam and exposing Activision Blizzard to beating Amazon and not even knowing it, today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the continued success of Steam and how they're drawing battle lines nobody wants to cross.
The Rugrats video. Oh my god, bro. I remember playing the Rugrats on the PS1. There's this level where you're walking around and it is terrifying. Okay. I've shown this on stream before, but genuinely, hang on. I played this when I was like 9. This was terrifying. I could not finish this game as a kid. It always made me cry. I was like less than 10. He gets like put to bed. And then he has to like go and explore the house at night. Someone said old head. You probably grew up on the PS4, mate. Shut up.
We'll let it out.
You're going to say the PS4 was nostalgic.
Hey Pyro. My dad passed away recently and watching you and your videos have helped me so much in the most difficult time of my life, so thank you.
Damn. Thank you, Anam, for the 10. I appreciate it. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm sorry about your dad. Best advice I can give is just try to distract yourself as much as you can. Talk to mates, talk to family. Just let your brain kind of process it. Yeah, bereavement's a horrible thing to go through, man. Seriously. But yeah, hope you're doing okay. Okay, all things considered. Yeah, that sucks, man. But there was this level where like you had to walk around and you had a flashlight to kill ghosts. Now don't laugh. Don't laugh. I've hyped this up a lot. I know I've hyped it up a lot. Don't laugh. But it is for me when I was 9 years old, this was terrifying. I couldn't beat it.
Somebody must have moved
I couldn't beat this as a kid because the monsters were so scary. Okay, look, I get it's a floating PNG. I get it. But at the time, when you're 9 years old and your brain is still forming, you don't get how scary this was. What the fuck is his YouTube channel name? What is his YouTube channel name? Are you for real? He's using that name. Okay. Anyways.
If Steam was ever going to have a competitor, it would have been Amazon because they have the money, the infrastructure, the Twitch integrations they could do to be able to create something massive, but instead they threw billions at a problem and made nothing. A former Amazon executive admitted as much.
Ever heard of the game World War III? It was supposed to be like Battlefield. It went into early access back in 2018 and despite low player numbers they somehow are still able to constantly update the game. How they haven't shut it down yet is beyond me.
Yeah, there's so many old games that like had their servers shut down. You remember like Phantasy Star Universe? Oh, dude, you're giving me like old man nostalgia. I remember like buying video game magazines that had the demo discs in them and stuff.
Article from...
Thank you, DJM, for the 10.
There is fear and darkness all around you. The criminals are on the run. No use in hiding in the dark. I'll hunt you down cause I'm the dog. I'm the dog, the big bad dog.
The bounty hunter. Thank you for the 10, dog. Dog the Bounty Hunter was actually the most trashy American show I've ever seen in my life. I loved it.
Windows Central, written by Michael Hoagland, titled Amazon Admits Defeat to Steam, his former VP declares, "We were 250 times bigger, but Goliath lost. Just because you're big enough to build something doesn't mean people will use it." Michael writes, in a LinkedIn post, Ethan Evans recalls his loss to Steam when he led the division. "We were at least 250 times bigger, and we tried everything, but ultimately Goliath lost." That's an interesting choice of words when you compare market share. While it's true Amazon by itself is a company that vastly outsizes Steam.
Yeah, Amazon tried to pump so much money into beating Steam, and it's like, we can't do it. We can't do it. It's over.
No other company has ever held a portion of the PC market like Steam has. To me, they've always been Goliath. It's just been other Goliaths coming to battle them with similar tools and identical features, but a simple change of attire. Ethan admits to misunderstanding what it took to take on the giant. At Amazon, we assumed that size and visibility would be enough to attract customers, but we underestimated the power of existing user habit.
What was that game that Amazon had? What was it called? Chat, you know. The MMORPG game that everyone forgot after like 2 weeks because it was really obvious they paid like $5 million to a bunch of streamers to play it. New World, yeah. Yeah. I wonder how that's doing. I mean, I'll be amazed if it's still doing well. New World game. There's actually been nothing for a year. There's been nothing for a year. Can you see? Can you even see the player count? Is it this game? Oh my lord. Oh my baby Jesus, it's over. It's over. $8K. There are double the amount of people. Double the amount of people. Just about, not, okay, just under double the amount of people that are playing Payday 2 right now. Crazy.
We never validated our core assumptions before investing heavily in
8K is, I mean, no. 8K is bad for how much money they put into that, though.
Solutions. The truth is, gamers already had a solution to their problems, and they weren't going to switch to another platform just because...
Now check Payday 3. Okay, so you want me to just go to a cemetery, sure. Oh, it's gonna be, it's gonna be less than 10,000. It's gonna be more than 1,000. Oh, it's barely over 1K. That's grim. Oh, man. That's so sad. That's so sad.
Because a new one was available. When a person is happy, they don't go look elsewhere because something else is available. When a player has a large library of games, achievements, friends, and hours spent on a product platform, what's the reason for them to
Dude, I think that I might be near the Starbreeze offices, actually.
shift? Beep, boop, beep.
I hope they're doing okay.
Boop does not compute. We fail to understand user habits. These suits are complete bots, failing to understand anything about the industry, the games, or the players. Just one time I want to hear these guys say something that genuinely reflects the perspective of the players. Just one time I want them to put themselves in the players' shoes. They were so close saying gamers already have a solution. The issue is these suits don't understand the problem being solved is them. Amazon.
Yeah, like these companies need to realize you can't just keep infinitely pumping money into like a company thinking, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working?
Thought that they could brute force their way into the PC gaming space, but they never understood why people use Steam in the first place.
It's brand loyalty. Like, I don't know how Steam does it, man. I've got like a really autistic brand loyalty with them. Like, when a game comes out on Epic, I will literally wait 2 years for it to come out on Steam.
Steam's not just a storefront.
That's good for Payday 3 standards. It hovered around 200 for ages. Was it really that low? I don't remember it ever being that low.
It's a platform.
Yeah, because they brought out that jacket DLC as well.
Platform that's built on trust. Valve isn't some faceless mega corporation chasing quarterly earnings reports. It's a company ran by people who actually understand games. When they make changes, it's almost always in the favor of the developer or the player. They give developers real tools. They don't try to nickel and dime their players.
GOG's good. GOG's good if you're an old man, so if you're like over the age of 20. Like if you're elderly. It's good for like retro games and stuff.
They treat the ecosystem like a living thing, not a cash register.
Fuck Epic China shill. I think they own like 7%. Yeah, Tencent just have their little fingers in like everything, man.
Meanwhile, Amazon thought that they could just throw some money at Twitch streamers, slap together a launcher, and all of a sudden compete with Steam, but they were wrong. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to use Amazon's half-assed gaming service. Even with all of their unlimited money, they still couldn't buy relevance. And that's why Steam is untouchable. It's not about the games, it's about how the platform treats you. And unlike every other company within this industry, Valve doesn't treat its customers like walking ATMs. Amazon failed, Epic failed, Ubisoft failed, every single competitor who has tried.
Yep, Tim Sweeney. Let me just what? Back in the trash.
Take on Steam has failed, and it's because Valve actually respects their customers. Imagine that, a company that doesn't hate us. You know, I'll be honest with you guys, if it wasn't for me actually reading these headlines, I would.
Epic Games be like, how do we take over Valve? What if we make a game free once a week that came out 4 years ago?
Wouldn't even have known that Amazon even had a storefront. That's how little people were talking about it. That's how little people were interested in anything other than Steam. And Steam's success isn't going to be stopping anytime soon because it's part of a much bigger shift in this industry. PC gaming is growing faster than ever, and the data proves it.
It's actually crazy, though, if you compare PC gaming to mobile gaming. It's just not even comparable. It's like a blip.
As reported by IGN in an article.
I swear it's like India and stuff as well, because they always like get access to smartphones now as well. Like they're getting onto the internet a lot quicker because it's still like a developing country. Like mobile gaming is huge. I don't know the last time I played a mobile game.
Article titled Steam tops 40 million concurrent players for the first time as we all jump.
Who plays mobile games?
Take suggestions for video reactions.
Thank you, Adam, for the 10. Yeah, I do sometimes. It doesn't mean I'll watch it immediately though, but I will queue it up.
In to play Monster Hunter Wilds, Vicky Blake reports Steam, the most popular digital game.
Thank you, G, for the 5. Hi, you said once that you played a bit of Marvel Rivals. Who would you say was your favorite character from each class? I really liked the Winter Soldier. Unironically. The Winter Soldier was cracked. He was so good. Like, because his ult as well, if you kill someone with the ult, you get a free ult. Like, if you team it up properly, it's actually the most overpowered ult in the entire game. But then they released a Venom mod, so Venom is my main now.
Game distributor for PC players has once again broke its own concurrent user record, breaching 40 million concurrent players for the first time.
Holy.
Over the weekend, which just so happened to coincide with Monster Hunter Wilds launch on Friday, February 28th, Steam logged 40,270,997
Holy China. China coming in clutch there.
Players, breaking
Holy Asia.
Its previous record of 39.9 million players set in February 2025. In fact, according to SteamDB, Steam's concurrent record, seen by some as a way of measuring the success of Valve's digital platform, has been broken almost every single month since May 2020.
It's so genius though, man. Like if you go on like the top played games on Steam, PUBG is always in the top 5, literally just because of China.
24, with the concurrent peak rising from 35.5 million players to 40.2 million.
This is always a problem with game companies, right? Like they always try to break into other nations and they can't. Like I think the Xbox sold like thousands of units in Japan, while the Snoy sold millions of units.
Million in just 6 months. So now let's put all this
brand loyalty is an insane thing.
Into perspective. Steam isn't just growing, it's growing faster than ever. While gaming platforms are struggling with engagement loss, live service failures, and subscription fatigue, well, Steam is doing the exact opposite. Every single month, their records keep breaking. Every year, their foothold in the industry gets stronger, and that's because PC games...
Monster Hunter be like, give me 7 seconds to charge up this attack. Oh, the monster's moved. Oh, now he's hibernating. Oh, now he's at full health. Great.
Gaming isn't slowing down.
I'll be honest, guys. I really don't enjoy Monster Hunter. I tried to get into it. I've had so many friends that have tried to get me into it, but it is like the slowest game imaginable.
It's accelerating. Consoles used
like, bro, finish an attack after the monster is like a good kilometer away.
To be the convenient option. Plug it in, press start.
I wish I enjoyed this game. I really wish I did, but...
Start and play. But that illusion has started to crack. Next-gen console hardware launched with big promises, but what did the player...
It's not brain rot. It's not brain rot. I just don't want to have to, like, you know, file out a form to do an attack on an enemy.
Players actually get 30 FPS modes, aggressive upscaling, missing features, and all the while, these platforms have done little to improve the customer experience. I mean, we have people that are buying the hardware outright, subscribing to play online using the internet they already own, and they're being filtered.
I know it's just gameplay, background gameplay. That's brutal. That's brutal.
Into a limited ecosystem of games where their reviews mean nothing. They're being...
Yo, thank you, loudest speaker, for the 10 gifted, man. Appreciate it. W's in chat for loud to speak. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
Bombarded with ads on their dashboard, and they're locked out of basic features. What exactly are these people playing for? Of course they're going to start going to PC. And then we have streaming culture, because more players aren't just playing games anymore. They're creating content. They're streaming on Twitch, editing clips for YouTube, and engaging with gaming in ways that, well, consoles just simply weren't built for. The Steam Deck has made a huge difference as well. This is one of the smartest things that Valve has ever done, because it's not just a handheld PC, it's a bridge.
Dude, I bought the most expensive Steam Deck that you could buy, like with the bigger memory and the better screen. I left it on one night, it ran out of battery, and now it won't turn on again. Like, I've tried charging it and stuff, it won't even turn on. I think the battery just burnt itself out.
It pulled in console players.
What are you drinking? It's a bottle of vodka.
Who would never touch Steam before, and once they saw what was possible, no paid subscriptions for online, full access to an entire library of games, the ability to tweak and mod things whenever you want to, why would you go back? More games, fewer restrictions. Steam doesn't have the same walled garden nonsense that PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox do.
Damn, you can play Prey. Holy cinema.
Early access thrives.
And it's got gyro.
Here.
Holy. Oh, I want to use my Steam Deck now. Why did it die on me?
Indie games have...
Dude, I swear I did the same thing with my Switch. I bought it, I used it for like a week, and then I never touched it again. I was like, why? I've got like my... You know.
This video is an hour long and I don't know if you want to tackle it, but it is very insightful. Link.
Thank you, Annan, for the 10. Appreciate it. Ah, thank you, Loudest Speak, for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it, bro. Again, W's in chat for Loudest Speak. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Steam Deck's great for traveling. Yeah, it's just a Switch, but games are above 10 FPS.
Modding is alive and well, and Valve isn't strong-arming developers into exclusivity deals and trying to push a storefront that nobody wants. But arguably the biggest catalyst for Steam's recent success is actually the launch of Steam China back in 2021. While initially the adoption rate was pretty slow, we've seen with the launch of Black Myth Wukong and more recently Monster Hunter Wilds just how much of an impact that can have. I myself am welcoming my Chinese brethren into the fold because these guys do not put up with poor optimization. Did you guys know that most of the negative reviews on Monster Hunter Wilds were written in simplified Chinese? Steam now has access to one of the biggest consumer markets in the entire world with a population of 1.4 billion people. That's going to have an effect. The numbers don't lie. PC gaming...
It's actually crazy how big China is. China and India. You just keep forgetting that stuff, man. It's mental.
Isn't just growing, it's...
Because it's just such separate cultures and stuff as well. And China's got that big fat firewall as well.
Pulling in players away from consoles. And Steam is leading the charge. Not because they're trying to force anybody's hand, but because at the end of the day, they don't need to. When given a choice, players choose Steam. And that says everything. And Steam's only going to get bigger, especially because of Steam China, because we've already seen that month after month, we're going to see more and more of these Chinese games release. And we saw the effect of Black Myth Wukong and how many players that brought into the ecosystem. And with some of these Chinese games that are going to be coming out.
All right, it's the wrong word. It was the wrong word.
They're going to get national support, and that's going to act like a bullhorn that's going to bring in more Western players. They're going to be attracted to that game and how popular it is. That's how this thing continues to work. And other than GOG, see, I mentioned GOG, praise me in the comments. I don't see any reason for me to use any other platform that's out there because...
Yeah, GOG is like good for if you actually want to play boomer games. Like I bought Dino Crisis on there recently. That was really good. I played through a bit of that. The controls are awful. But yeah, if you want to play like boomer stuff, GOG is great for that.
None of them are as consumer-friendly and as convenient as Steam is. Sure, I realize that that's monopolistic, but I really like it when a monopoly works for me. And that's exactly what Steam does. Steam works for me. At a glance, I can see everything that I want to about a game. I can see how many people are playing it. I can see what people are saying about it.
Epic is good only for free games. Yeah, I mean, if you make an account, you get a free game. That's pretty much it.
I can see screenshots or the trailers or people streaming it. They have streams right on Steam. I can see what content's included.
I never understood Black Myth Wukong. It's just Monkey God of War. Isn't it more like Monkey Elden Ring?
In the
or Dark Souls
version I want to buy. Maybe it's included in a bundle or maybe it's on sale. It'll put up in big, bold, yellow text whether or not it has any type of third-party software like DRM or whatever else it might be. If I don't like it, within 2 hours, I can return it, no questions asked, and you just do not have those things on any other platform. Not a single one of them. It makes no sense to me how any of these companies would try to compete with Steam if they will not compete on their terms. If you are not trying to iterate on the things that make Steam successful, the reason why people go to Steam.
I mean, people actually respect Steam. Well, okay, that's laughable. But they respect it more than like other companies like Amazon. I've never heard of anyone in my entire life say, oh, Amazon's a great company. They're great. Because it's like you've seen the working conditions for like Amazon workers and stuff like that. And that carries over to their brand. It really damages their brand.
Steam in the first place, then why are you even trying? All you're doing is wasting time and money because every single month that you're not doing what they do, well, players are buying more games on Steam, they're becoming more invested on that platform, and it's getting even more popular, and you won't stand a chance. But I think that's the critical issue. It's not that they don't understand why Steam works or why Steam is popular, it's that they hate that it does. Because they hate how user-friendly it is. They hate how much control and how much transparency it has. They had how much.
Isn't Steam average salary like $1 million? Yeah, no, it's really, really high. It's basically more than like, they're paid more per person than most companies in the world.
Control the players have, how much choice the players have. And they really don't like the fact that they have to operate on Steam's terms instead of their own. Steam isn't just a storefront, it's an industry watchdog, and that becomes more obvious every year. Activision Blizzard recently tried to sneak in AI-generated art into Call of Duty without telling anyone, letting players assume that they were paying for...
Also, keep in mind as well, they were doing the exact same thing with the voice acting as well. That was also just all AI, just complete trash.
Real handcrafted content until Steam's latest policy forced them to come clean. As of 2025, Steam requires full transparency. If a game contains AI-generated content, it has to be disclosed up front. AI itself isn't necessarily the issue. I don't think that players are necessarily against it, but I think that players are against paying more for less. AI should, in theory, lower costs and improve efficiency, yet somehow publishers are using it to cut corners while still charging premium prices. That's what players hate. Not that AI exists, but that it's being used to shortcut and pump out lazy, overpriced content. And if Steam hadn't stepped in, publishers would have kept pretending like it wasn't happening at all. And this isn't the first time that Valve has forced publishers to play fair. In 2024, EA openly discussed adding in-game...
Imagine EA having any kind of respect. I laugh.
Advertisements. One of the most profitable ways to be...
The only way EA can actually get cred now is like if another company comes out and they do something 10 times worse than them.
Able to nickel and dime your customers.
Did you see the Severance finale? I actually haven't.
At the expense of their experience, but Steam shut it down immediately. They banned forced advertisements in games just like that, while other companies may see gaming as another passive entertainment platform to monetize.
Yeah, they also, I don't want to glaze Valve. I don't think they're being entirely altruistic. I think they know that they're on top of the ladder financially, so they're allowed to make these choices because they genuinely are just generating so much money. They don't need to make any more. Them banning ads is actually them basically fortifying themselves at the top of the chain to make sure no one else like actually takes their spot.
It's like streaming.
Because, you know, everyone on Reddit's like, oh, based, oh, it's so based. But it's like, they're at the top. There's no more else to climb. So they're just going to like try to look like a good company to basically make you stick with them.
Services. Valve made it clear players should not have to sit through a commercial break to play a game that they paid for. No wonder Sony's been so hesitant to move to Steam. I'm sure they'd love to cash in on that ad patent they've been sitting on. But if that wasn't enough, and this is something we've talked about in a previous video, Valve also cracked down on one of the biggest publisher scams, selling season passes and DLC with no intention on delivering the content on time. For years, developers have been getting away with promising post-launch expansions, collecting money up front, and either delaying their content indefinitely or just canceling it altogether. But Steam changed the rules. Now, if a developer misses their content or their DLC deadline and they don't notify Steam of the delay, Steam will automatically refund players. No waiting, no arguing, just instant refunds. Name another platform that does that. You can't. But what really pisses off these publishers about Steam isn't their policies, it's their transparency. Valve actually gives the players the information they need before making a purchase. And that's a serious threat to an industry that's built on hype, artificial scarcity, and manufactured popularity. Taking current player data, for example, Steam lets players see exactly how many people are playing a game in real time, a feature that Ubisoft reported.
Kingdom Come is still on 70k. That's actually really good. Damn.
Wanted to see them remove, but it's obvious why they would want to have it gone.
Ubisoft wants to hide Steam concurrent player count. What is it? I want to see it. Because I remember this. There was a woman comedian and she basically got ratings disabled on Netflix. Is it Amy Schumer? Her performance was that hated that she got all of Netflix changed. I mean, that's not bad at all, though. What? Why do they want to hide it? That's not bad.
Publishers do not
So
want
bizarre.
you to see the actual numbers. They want you listening to journalists to tell you that the game is popular. But on Steam, you don't have to take anyone's word for it. You can go see the numbers yourself. You can go see if a live service game is thriving or barely hanging on. You can decide if it's worth investing your money into.
Yeah, it was Amy Schumer. She got rid of the star rating on Netflix. Like, they kneeled to her solely because of the fact that, like, I don't even know why they did it, man, genuinely. Like, oh, what's she gonna do? Oh, I'll never do a Netflix special again. Oh, guys, Amy Schumer said she won't do another special.
If it's already a ghost town that won't last another 6 months. And that's a problem because...
I'm sorry for yesterday. I was drunk as shit. I don't even remember you typing in chat, dude. It's fun.
Because this directly conflicts with their financial goals. These companies have no problem making players spend money before they eventually pull the plug, and they have no issue gaslighting players into believing a game is alive and well when it's not. You know what else directly impacts their sales, or at least should? Reviews. And nothing forces publishers to be more honest than Steam's review system. This isn't just a feature, it's one of the most powerful forces in gaming. A single bad decision can sink your game overnight. When Sony tried to force in PlayStation logins into Helldivers 2, Steam players review bombed the game so hard that Sony backtracked in record time. This wouldn't have happened on...
Also, speaking of Sony, have you guys seen the DLC they released for Days Gone? Hang on. Days Gone, you know the zombie game? It's okay. It's like a solid 7, maybe 8 out of 10. It's, you know, but they released a DLC and it's just trash. Is it free at least? Hang on, let me check if it's free. It might be free. If it's free, fair enough. But all they're doing is adding a DLC where you just get early unlocks. It's like you get the Drifter crossbow early, Nitrous upgrade early, Gas tank, Shroud upgrade, Monkey wrench, and then you get a Horde Assault Survival Arcade mode, which you've already had anyway, and then you get permadeath. That's it. And then you get a speedrun thing. Like, dude, for final DLC, like 3 years after the game came out, that is trash.
On any other platform, but on Steam, negative reviews can actually affect sales, which means developers can't ignore them. And it's not just PC.
It's $10. 10 euros. Oh, it's over.
Players that are checking out these Steam reviews. Console players are relying on them too, because let's be honest, gaming journalism is dead. IGN, Kotaku, GameSpot. These outlets have turned into nothing more than corporate mouthpieces, handing out 9 out of 10 scores to garbage.
It came out in 2018. Oh, I'm old. It's over. Maybe I'm thinking about when it came out on Steam, because I never played it on the Snoy.
Half-baked games dismissing real player concerns and treating criticism like it's toxic.
Hey,
Nobody
Pyro,
trusts them anymore.
Viewer
Players
from
aren't going to
Australia
wait.
here, and I made the news recently because I work at a Subway and I put up Spyro the Dragon art in the window and the local news picked it up, lol. You can see it if you search Spyro's Subway art. I got a reward from my boss.
Thank you, Carl, for the 10. I don't know. Something's telling me to not look that up. I don't know.
Waste their time and money based on some paid-for Metacritic score. Instead, they're going to go check out Steam because that's the place where real, unfiltered player opinions actually matter. Steam lets players organize and warn each other, unlike other platforms.
I like how slow this chat is. It's because most of them are playing 6 Siege and they've just got me on in the background. If you're not chatting in this stream, by the way, and you've got me on as background noise, whether you're studying, drawing, or like playing video games, you're a coward. You're an absolute coward. I bet you won't come in this chat and defend yourself, you coward. Now look at this. Look, I've left the bait. Look at chat just explode now. Yep, there we go. There we go. They all come out, all the worms. Every time. Every time.
Platforms that try to suppress discussions that might hurt their sales, Steam allows open,
I'm playing with my girlfriend, and you've got me in the background? Okay.
unmoderated discussions. Take Sweet Baby Detected as an example, a group that tracks a specific game consultancy agency that was involved with writing different games.
I'm reading a book. It's over.
Whether you agree with them or not, players deserve the right to know who is shaping their games and if they want to...
Dude, why is chat so active now, man? Can you people not speak more?
As a matter of fact,
in the chat?
To diaper messing porn.
Can you not speak more in the chat?
Buy something that they are involved in. The gaming press wanted Steam to shut it down. Developers tried to call for its removal, but Valve, they didn't cave. They didn't censor it. They left it up. Here's the truth. Steam doesn't just compete with these other storefronts. It is regulating the entire industry. Anytime Steam makes a change,
I'm stoned. That's the worst excuse I could ever imagine.
Or ban something entirely, these publishers and developers have to fall in line. Otherwise, they're
Play Ramworld. It's on the list.
not going to have their games on the biggest platform in the world. And with how hard it's been for some of these companies to actually profit off of some of their games, they cannot afford to not be on Steam. That's why Steam is such a threat to modern gaming. It exists in direct opposition to everything that these big publishers have been wanting. It's too.
I mean, I'll be honest. Most of the games that I've made, videos on, it's only because of Steam. Like, I would not have found those games if not for Steam. Thank you, Laddie Speak, for the $20. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for making work entertaining for me. Appreciate it, bro. Hope you're having a good night.
Too user-friendly. It gives players too much control. It's too transparent, and it forces them to play fair. And that's why these companies keep trying so hard to replace it. Epic burned billions trying to make a competitor. Amazon failed before they even got started. Ubisoft, EA, and a bunch of other publishers have abandoned their own PC launchers because nobody wanted them. Every attempt to take Steam down has failed. And why is that? Well, that's because when given a choice, players...
Steam will literally never be taken down unless they make a really stupid choice that makes them greedy to increase profit margins, but they won't do it. They won't do it because they know in the long run, whatever minute profit they get will make them fall from like the top of the pyramid. So it's literally never going to happen.
Players are always going to choose...
Thank you, Alpha Beaver, for the 5.
Freedom over...
My girlfriend said your hair is fried and to stop bleaching it, you'll be bald at 30 if you don't.
Control. And that's why they're...
Yeah, but I like when it's yellow.
Choosing Steam. Valve isn't just another faceless corporation. It still operates like a game developer. It's not run by marketing executives or analysts that don't play games. It's run by people who actually understand video games.
Valve does nothing and wins. No, unironically. That's literally all they have to do.
Make video games. That's why Steam has a clear identity and one that prioritizes the players over the publishers. And that's why every single competitor is going to fail. Amazon, Epic, Xbox, EA, Ubisoft, every single one of these PC platforms was built by people who only put profits first and players second. They don't understand their audience because they aren't their audience. But Steam is different. It was built for the players, and because of that, Valve is the only company that is actually regulating the industry. I, for one, am completely happy that we have Steam on our side, and they are the ones that are laying out the rules right now. Because if they weren't doing it, then nobody would. Because, well, you know, in a lot of cases, there's nobody that's actually trying to fight on our side legislatively. It's governments and whatnot. Half these people are too old to really understand video games to begin with, and they don't really care.
I mean, Gabe Newell isn't young, man. Come on. He's a young buck. He's 62 years old.
And even if they did, well, they just probably have some people that would lobby against it, and then it'd make it worse. So, yeah. But there isn't a single company within this industry that could compete with Steam. And I say that with the utmost confidence because you have a company that...
Gabe will live forever. He probably will, honestly. That's why he lives on that boat, because he's scared of, like, getting diseases and stuff. Apparently, if you need to meet Gabe Newell, you got to, like, self-isolate on a boat for 2 weeks, and then you get to go into his boat.
Isn't publicly traded, so they're not being influenced by investors or trying to make money for other people. They're just trying to make money for themselves. And on top of that, these guys make more money per employee than Apple and Google. They're making more than enough money that they don't even care. And the only way for them to make more money...
Gabe Island.
Money, at least from their perspective...
It's not even a problem with the studios themselves, it's an issue with American corporate law. Companies have to act in the best interest of their shareholders, who are generally ancient boomers who see short-term profit as better than long-term success.
Thank you, Adam, for the 10. Yeah, it's always corporate stuff at the end of the day. People are greedy. They like money.
Is just to invite more players in.
I emailed Gabe Newell. I'm still waiting. When did you email, bro? He probably gets about 20,000 emails a day.
And then protect that audience. Protect those customers, because that's the way that they stay. If you use them and abuse them.
It's Steam glazing. Yeah, it is. The video's a little bit glazy, but I think Steam are making these decisions to protect themselves in the long run. Because again, if they start making greedy decisions, everyone's going to flip on them. And then the other companies... It's like, do you remember with YouTube, like when YouTube had the yellow demonetization symbol come in and it like screwed everyone over? Then VidMe came in, they were like, oh, wait a minute, we could move in now. Like all these companies, they're just like, they're vultures. They're waiting on the sideline for you to slip up so they could just immediately like, you know, try and take advantage.
Them.
Obviously it didn't work and VidMe got shut down, but you know.
well, they're going to go leave. They're going to go somewhere else or something like that. That's not what you want. No. That's the reason why when we look at Steam.
How's your Storyfire channel doing? Oh my God. Do you remember Storyfire? No way. No way. Oh, it's over. They took down the website. Yeah, they paid me like a ridiculous amount of money for that. For like such a small shill. It was just obvious they just had way too much money and they were like, how do we get people over here?
Steam for the most part has been on autopilot. They don't need to change anything. They don't need to do anything to it. You don't need to add anything other than video games, more games for me to play and buy. That's the reason why these guys are going back to making video games right now. That's the reason why they're going and making a Steam Deck, because they're making ways to invite more.
Was it how many zeros? How many digits? Well, the way that they paid is like most sponsors will offer you the same amount of money because they all talk to each other and they know, like, you know, they know all the exploits like CPM and all that kind of thing. It's very obvious they're all sponsors. Like 100% ExpressVPN talks to NordVPN. They do. They definitely do. I talked to a agency guy about this once and he got really pissed off at me, being like, well, you're saying that there isn't like a free market. You're saying they're all colluding. That's stupid. It's like, no, they are. Because what will happen is if they don't talk to each other, then one of them will be paying way too much and offering YouTubers way too much money, so that all the sponsors on YouTube that you see, HelloFresh and all that, they definitely all collude and talk to each other. So they all agree on a rate to then offer creators 100%. But Storyfire, I don't think did that at all. So that's why they just offered so much more.
Players into the ecosystem
rather
than milk the players that are already there. That's how their vision is completely opposite for the rest of the entire industry, because these guys are so focused on trying to squeeze every drop out of whoever they have.
Say that again.
Scaring everybody else away, including the people they're squeezing. That doesn't work out in the long run. Now, while Valve has definitely betrayed us in the past, I'm not going to pretend like they're a perfect company. They are the ones that popularized loot boxes in a lot of ways. From my perspective, they're one of the very few that are still on our side and are still working.
Just such a small thing to mention at the end, even though it was catastrophic for everyone.
For our best interests. They're still working for us. And that's the most important thing. Well, I think a lot of people believe that Steam's going to change one day, and fair enough. All companies change.
This is a bit iShowSpeed GIF, a little bit.
Things change. It's how the world works more than anything else. You know, this company is so small. They make so much money. Only have 300 employees. They have such a focused philosophy on video games and players and customers and their platform. I don't see that going anywhere.
CSGO made me spend my allowance as a kid. Yep.
That strong a leadership.
It's exactly what happens. Like, it's just gambling. It's literally gambling.
That doesn't just disappear overnight. That doesn't disappear.
There's a million iShowSpeed GIFs. Which one? Oh, this one, like that one.
When Gabe Newell leaves the company. Yes, I know. We have a 62-year-old man that basically has the health and fairness of the entire video game industry weighing on his shoulders. But he doesn't really take me as the kind of guy that would just walk off and
leave
leave
Mr. Pug for the prime.
Burn it down. You're likely going to pick somebody that's going to be a solid successor. So, yeah. Man, these publishers have to hate Steam. They are stomping all over every single dirty little nasty trick they want to pull. And they're not going to get away with any of it. Not unless they want to make money. If you want to make money, you better be on Steam. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for...
Yeah, that was a good video. It's a little bit glazy, but yeah. I don't know, like Steam is good, but then, you know, you've got stuff like the loot boxes and stuff like that as well, where it's just a bit like, are they good? Is it good? I don't know. What else we got? Jack Doherty is in denial. He destroyed his career. Okay, I was going to do a video on this, but I want to see Atozy do it, because Atozy literally went to the courthouse where it happened, by the way.
It's safe.
Like, Atozy has to be Jack Doherty's #1 hater. Genuinely.
To say this disrespectful IRL streamer is in denial that he destroyed his own career. Once he acted like he was on the top of the world, harassing people in public for his stream content, then hiding behind his bodyguard when anyone confronted him about his behavior.
They need to show this in every school, just to show like what happens when you become a TikToker and why you shouldn't do it. They need to show this in schools about, like, you know, actual etiquette to be a normal human in public. That's so funny, bro. That's so funny. I'm dying.
And now,
how does he have the face of like Tony Soprano and he's like 18 as well? That always blows me away.
His luck is seemingly running out, as he just had a complete meltdown after being banned again and having his appeal for his ban being denied. So it truly seems like...
Yeah, he'd literally walk around baiting people into confrontation and then get his bodyguard to defend him.
The career...
I don't understand. The bodyguard, the rent cannot be that high if you're defending Jack Doherty.
He once had has now been taken away from him yet again. So today we're talking about Jack Doherty, likely the second most disliked streamer in the world. After getting back from covering the most disliked one in Korea, I realized Jack has been imploding on social media over the last couple of weeks. So remember when Jack said this in his...
Oh yeah, no, I'm mixing up Johnny Somali and Jack Doherty because Atozy also went to see Johnny Somali's court hearing. But he's also a huge Jack Doherty hater. But he's Johnny Somali's #1 hater.
Comeback stream about 2 months ago.
But I'm gonna be good. I'm not gonna be too cocky just for the first week, just because everyone that didn't believe in me, man. But listen, I'm gonna be way more humble moving forward, and I'm never gonna up again. I know I've said it a million times, but trust me, bro. It was an accident. What happened? What got me banned was an
Biggest lie ever told on a stream.
accident. Accidents happen, bro. That's why it's called an accident.
It was an accident the first 400 times.
Okay, have fun. I don't buy it. I guess we'll see how that ages. Yeah.
I love the map behind Atozy. No, it's great. Like, I had one as a kid, right? You put the little like toy cars on it and stuff.
That aged like milk left out in a hot car because he's banned again. And he can't even claim that what happened was an accident this time. If you've been following my series of videos covering Jack Doherty's situation, you probably remember the incident that forever changed his life as he knew it. The McLaren car crash, which resulted him in getting a permanent ban from Kick for reckless driving. And the quotation
Atozy's reading a script.
marks were there because he was unbanned.
Yeah, Atozy's reading a script, I think. I think he's got an auto prompt. I didn't know that. Yeah, there's loads of YouTubers that use auto prompts, apparently. So it helps them, like, you know, read a script without having to memorize it and stuff like that. Apparently it's really popular, and I was like, what the hell? Like, you use that? I thought, like, I had someone ask me, a YouTuber, and he was like, use like an auto prompt, right? And I was like, no. I just memorize the script, or I just go bit by bit, and it's like, why? It's like, well, no, I don't want to just read it. You can definitely tell when someone's using an auto prompt though, because the eyes go from side to side. I could be wrong. I genuinely could be wrong. Because when you're looking dead on a camera, your eyes still do kind of move around a little bit.
But not before the desperate attempts to get money from his fans through launching meme coin pump and dumps. Obviously, Kick somehow decided to unban him after 3 months.
Do you have a script on main videos? Yes. Like, you expect I just make all... like Darkwood? Yeah, I just said words, bro, for 8 hours.
Months of his supposed permanent ban. And obviously, you just saw the clip of Jack saying from now on, he was going to be a humble, down-to-earth person that was going to behave on the platform. Well, his career is basically a streaming equivalent of a zombie, as it just keeps on dying and coming back to life, but each time he returns, it's more decayed and brain dead than ever, because the new ban comes in just 9 days after Kick reversed the previous perma-ban on January 9th of this year. And I say perma-ban because you never know with Kick, clearly, because the last one was supposed to be permanent, but who knows? But either way, bro's like, yeah,
I swear the guy owns shares in Kick. This is just why he keeps being unbanned every time.
Learn my lesson. I'm going to behave. And then he didn't even last like 2 weeks. Dude is a Hall of Fame moron, because Kick is clearly one of those platforms where you really have to try to get banned. It takes a special kind of moron to get banned on Kick. As the only other streamer I know that's banned from Kick is Johnny Somali, and he might be the dumbest human being on the planet. But you may be asking, what happened this time that forced Kick to ban Jack one more time permanently? Well, during a stream on January 18th, in which he was collaborating with World of T-Shirts, or Joshua Block, who we've also covered here on this channel, Jack, while walking around, got slapped in the face by a stream sniper. And in case you guys don't know what stream sniping is, it's essentially using someone's stream to find out where they are. Originally, this was...
I think it's really dangerous as well what Jack's doing, because like by cultivating such a toxic fan base, you're kind of putting yourself in danger, because you got a bunch of people that want to be you. And if your entire personality is like being obnoxious and in people's faces, you're going to want to do the same thing.
This was in-game, but in the IRL streaming context, the stream sniper's purpose is to track down the streamer's location and then insert themselves into the stream somehow. Like, this guy just showed up and slapped Jack. Now, getting slapped it sucks, but it's not really a bannable offense because it's not your fault. There's nothing you can really do there. But it's safe to say what happens next in this clip definitely is, because instead of just handling the situation reasonably to avoid even more conflict, Jack goes and beats up this guy with the security guards. He chases the guy down and then hits him back, and of course, his bodyguard has to jump in and help, while the cameraman is recording everything. Because Jack has to live stream every terrible decision in his life, including assaulting someone for content. So obviously,
could you imagine waking up every day and it's like, I need to do something really bad today that people are going to hate or I'm going to fall off?
Kick decided they'd had enough and banned him again. He only found out later when he was already in the car checking his phone and someone sent him a screenshot of his Kick page that read, "Oops, something went wrong. We can't find the page you're looking for."
See, I just got banned on Kick.
I wasn't.
Oh my god, dog. I just got banned on Kick because
No, we got a ban. Thank goodness I managed all those girls on OnlyFans, though.
God damn it. I think I did, bro. I think I did get banned. Bro, last month. Going. Yeah, I'm cooked, bro. Oh my god, bro.
I'm cooked, bro. On God, for real, for real. This is not skibbity.
What's that fair, guys? This is why I don't like Kick, bro. It's like...
You defended yourself.
You're not banned with self-defense. Yeah, exactly. I'm defending myself and I can get banned on, like, that's why I don't do anything back to anyone ever in the past, because it's just like I don't want to get banned. It's like I do something back to him and I'm banned. Like,
so Jack was hit first, but what happened was not self-defense. It was a retaliation attack that he live streamed himself doing. I'm kind of baffled at...
I mean, him being hit, that sucks, right? Like, that's not good. But at the same time, you're being hit because, unfortunately, you've cultivated this, like, really toxic fan base of people that watch you. It's like when you watch Neon and stuff, it's like these people hate him. They just keep watching him because they're watching... It's like people that watch, like, Joshua Block. It's like you're watching him because you want to see his downfall, which is just really sad and miserable.
How careless he is with his platform. Okay,
I can't lie, this shit pissing me off so much right now. Right now. Not gonna lie, you serious? For real, bro?
Got smacked. That sucks. Let your security handle it, and you go on.
It talks like the average 10-year-old on TikTok.
And continue streaming. You don't live stream yourself beating up the guy to protect your ego. The only way that's self-defense is if he was continuously a threat to you. But he bitch slapped you and ran. Retaliating would not be self-defense, because all he did was he stooped to the instigator's level. Any creator would know you can't broadcast yourself fighting someone. And the instigator here got exactly what he wanted, as Jack is now permanently banned from streaming on Kick and has essentially lost his streaming career. All because this instigator decided to smack him.
Could you imagine after the ban, he just like starts calling up Aiden Ross, like, help me, Aiden, please, Aiden.
That is like the ultimate W for this instigator. So how long is this permanent ban going to last this time? Who knows, but it's already been over a month, and it doesn't seem like he's getting unbanned anytime soon. At least for now, because Kick was a major revenue source for Jack. As I covered in the
Aiden will literally like call Jack and be like, yo, whoa, you gotta wait, just wait like a month. I got this thing with Andrew Tate, and then after that, you get an unban.
Interview with Pat God in my last video. So getting banned for a second time.
It was my 18th birthday a few days ago and had a party today with bunch of my friends. Now I get to watch a slop stream. Hope you have a good night.
Dude, that's really good to hear, Alfie. Hope you had a great birthday, man. Based.
In less than
Thank you for tuning in.
A year, that definitely hits where it hurts. His wallet. So recently he's moved to party.com again, a much smaller platform.
Party.com. There must be so many live streaming sites, eh? There must actually be hundreds that we've never heard of.
Fewer streamers and viewers than Kick, which is definitely not ideal for someone who...
Oh, Donut, you're here. What's up, bro? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, sorry I missed you last week. Quite an achievement getting banned on Kick. Yeah, no, he's definitely calling up Aiden, and Aiden's like, okay, listen. You got 5 stars right now in GTA, right? We need to get you to 2 stars, and then you'll get an unban.
honestly is just used to throwing money at all of his problems. But usually after some time after the punishment, streamers can appeal their ban, explain that they've learned their lesson, and try to get back, you know, to good graces on the platform. But Jack, he tried that approach in the dumbest way possible, and it really did not go well for him. So in one of his...
Did you hear about the anime law being passed in Texas? I didn't know. Is that a bit?
Recent streams on Twitch and Party, Jack revealed that he sent Kick's staff an email that he wrote using ChatGPT.
Guys.
Oh, thank you, shitpost drop, for the raid. Appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
I tried to get unbanned from Kick, right? You guys want to hear what my message was to Kick?
No, it was to Aiden Ross. It wasn't to Kick. Come on. Who are we fooling? Who are we fooling here, bro? Come on.
Let me know. I wrote a message, McKinley. Remember the message I wrote this morning and I put it in chat?
On God, no cap, for real. Remember that message, for real?
At GBT, they gave me like college essay. But then they denied it. So yeah, I'm in the ass. Kick suck my you and lick my.
Dude,
and then eat messages. Aiden Ross straight after, be like, bro, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it.
What did you think was going to happen here? Did you really think they weren't going to realize it was written in ChatGPT? Obviously, his appeal didn't work as he expected, so he absolutely lost it on stream.
Send our apology for any disruption this may have caused. Yo, if you don't disruption, so all 200,000 followers are built on your platform. You and lick my Eddie. You and all your Australian.
Yeah, Dono, if you're still here, I'm wrapping up stream after this video, so we can meet for an hour if you want. Because I've got to do a podcast at 11.
Friends, they all suck. I'm sorry, you guys are a bunch of f***ies. You're turning into Twitch, and you know what? Twitch is better, because I'm actually live on Twitch right now, because it's not a liberal-ass platform like you guys.
Saying Twitch isn't a liberal-ass platform? Dude, I'm streaming on Twitch right now. Come on, are you for real?
I hope Trump keeps you out.
It's just so obvious, the clip farm, man. Like, he knows he's in such a safety net.
Is a manlet? He might be like 5 feet 4 inches. If not, he definitely has a bad hairline. That's why he wears a hat.
Is Atozi a manlet? No, I met him like, Jesus, like 7 years ago. He was taller than me. He's actually pretty tall. Like, I'm 6 foot, and he must be like a good 6'2" or something. He's got those Norwegian genes.
The border as well.
Yeah, it's just so obviously a clip farm, man, because he knows he's going to get unbanned regardless.
You liberal little in Australia. Go. Oh, am I on Twitch? Am I getting banned? Wow. In GTA 5.
I mean, at this point, it's just pathetic. It also just says so much about his content when you're getting banned on Kick of all places. I also love how he's streaming on Twitch while actively dissing Twitch at the same time, saying that Kick is becoming like them. Yet, all he wants to be on is Kick, because his big problem is he's built this audience of kids that orbit on Kick and not Twitch, which is also problematic because, you know, everything this guy shills is 18 plus, OF, and gambling. But after his meltdown,
yeah, apparently most of his income manages from it's from managing OnlyFans girls.
He decides to challenge
just
Eddie,
like the fattest passive income imaginable.
One of the CEOs of Kick, to a boxing match.
How tall's Pyro? I'm 7 meters tall.
And 2 seconds later, he then steps back and says, no, wait, the CEO of Party, he should be the one fighting Eddie, while he's supposed to fight Neon. Dude's just adding random people to his beef out of nowhere.
Eddie, if you want to ban me, do it, but I'll box you, Eddie. Let's box, Eddie. I'll box you. Honestly, the Party creator should box you. Party creator, you box Eddie, I box Neon. Let's go. Biggest match of all time. Winner. The losing team has to delete their platform and their platform. So like, say Eddie loses and Neon loses, Eddie has to just...
He's actually talking like someone on Ket. I'm not even joking. And it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest that he's on it. Like, just all that bravado and stuff, and like, dude, could you imagine these people, like the come downs they must have, unironically, like after these streams? Holy.
Delete Kick, get wrecked.
But I guess Jack's career isn't the only thing he's been crashing lately. Obviously, he's had the McLaren incident, but now an electric bike incident as well, because apparently he bought one of those, and that sent him to the hospital a couple times.
All right, guys, I crashed my dirt bike another time, and
he crashes it on purpose just so they give him more ketamine at the hospital.
This time I broke my collarbone and hit my head. No more.
And as I hinted,
it's like the dark timeline of the Markiplier hospital video.
To earlier, this isn't the first time something like this has happened to him.
Am I bleeding bad? Just go like this.
Yeah. You can do that and then go back to the house if you want. Just use your shirt, maybe.
Is there really just that little to do in America that you just have to like go around trying to injure yourself?
Why? One of those clips there, like where he got really close to the road. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Deltarune tomorrow? Yeah, and Silk Song comes out as well.
Dude. At least the only upside to the crash that sent him to the hospital, which I'm about to show, is that he was wearing a helmet.
Oh. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Holy.
Oh, I'm done with that.
Oh, my God.
Just dropping the helmet as well, like...
I don't know, I hit my head.
You good? Helmet.
Why were you...
Like, I'm happy he's okay, but like, I don't know, his entire personality just... I think I'm sarping myself a bit, but... I don't know, it genuinely is like he just comes across as a plant, but I need to keep reminding myself that like people like this do unironically exist. Like there are personality types like this.
Why were you sitting on the bike when you jumped? Also, why were you doing this at a gas station? Jack is extremely lucky in unusual ways. Thankfully, that bike didn't fly and hit someone.
Throwing the helmet like GTA. Oh yeah, like GTA 4. When you just like throw it on the ground and that? Yeah, I remember that.
Or damage someone's property. And honestly, I don't know how he's always managed to get away with so many stupid decisions throughout his career up until this point. Like when he crashed the car, he left the accident without a single bruise on his body. After getting permanently banned on Kick, it only took 3 months for him to be forgiven, which is why it's permanently banned. Who knows how long he's actually going to be banned here. It seems like maybe they'll be a little bit more serious this time, but who knows? So maybe that's
one call to Daddy Aiden, he'll be all right.
Just the appeal to his content. Jack is basically just the architect.
I thought Silk Song was coming out. No, that's the bit. It's never coming out.
And mastermind of his own downfall. Yet he just keeps on walking this very thin line, swaying and nearly losing his balance multiple times while people just wait for the next slip up. He's essentially the embodiment of a slow car crash that you just can't really look away from. Metaphorically and obviously literally as well sometimes. So I guess only time will tell what will actually happen, but until then, it seems like he's not coping with this decision well at all. But other than that, YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video, and hey, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video. Now, actually,
yeah, that was actually a good update. I might actually... Yeah, he definitely has an auto prompt, eh? I like how I'm doing a YouTube brain. It's like, I swear with YouTube brain, you can't even actually enjoy the video. It's like, how does this creator does this? What's his camera setup? What does he do? But yeah, definitely check out Atozy. Really good YouTuber. I love his coverage on Neon and Jack for sure. Right. Okay, I'm going to end stream here because I've got the podcast with the old people in an hour, and we're going to have No Fuckers as a special guest. That'll only be on the Patreon, by the way. If you want to join the To Be Honest podcast Patreon.
Jack has a huge possibility of becoming a Norwold 7 since he's a white boy with broccoli hair.
Yeah, the broccoli hair hides the hairline, like this hides mine. But yeah, on the To Be Honest Patreon tonight, we're going to record an episode with No Fuckers, which should be fun. So, you know, stick around for that. The socialist. Yeah, he's got very socialist views. I remember he got into an argument with Colossal is Crazy because Colossal just kept saying to him, pipe down, libtard. And No Fuckers had a mental breakdown. He left the group chat. And he hasn't... yeah, well, that's for the recording. But yeah, all right. I will catch you... I'll catch you guys later. Have a good night. Thank you again, Donut, for the raid as well. Appreciate it, man. All right, bye-bye.